What is up, everybody? How you doing out there? Thinker St. James here with you. Ooh, that's a good sound. How are you? What is going on? Today is Thursday. That is not Sunday. However, last Sunday, we had fights at the White House. And I know that a lot of people were upset about the White House card being on a Sunday because they had to work on Monday. They had to be up very late to watch those fights. I was not upset for those reasons. Did not bother me that it was on a Sunday for those reasons. The reason I was upset that it was on a Sunday was because we didn't get to have Muay Thai Sunday. We have Muay Thai Sunday around here. We watch RWS generally. We watch some other promotions. But we did not get to watch Muay Thai on Sunday. So just because there are fights on the lawn of the White House does not mean that we get to neglect our Muay Thai, especially when the Estonian queen, Marie Ruumet, is fighting in RWS. So today, we are making up for lost time. Took a little bit of time to get to it. Had a video that I wanted to get out. Of course, new video is out on the channel right now about the unfortunate planning of the attack on UFC Freedom 250. So watch that if you haven't seen it. But we're making up for lost time with RWS from last Saturday. So this is a replay watch. If you would like to watch these fights along with me, the link is in the description of the live stream, and we will get started in just a few minutes. So good. Yeah, finally, thankfully so, finally starting to get back into the regular flow of things when it comes to everything outside of Yama, which is great, considering that went through a pretty stressful couple of weeks, but it's starting to settle down now. I'm getting back into my regular swing of things, which is great for Yama, because that means that I'll actually be able to do the things that I want to do on the channel and hopefully speed up the process around here, get more stuff out in a timely fashion, all of those good things. But that is all still to come, the same way that RWS is still to come. And we're going to start this thing in about 8 minutes, so hopefully all is going according to plan. Looks like it is. But when you go to the RWS screen, if you want to be watching along, get it queued up. You go to 000, of course, and you will see the number 424 on screen. That'll be RWS's countdown clock, and we will let it run. So just give some people some time to file in over here. Hope that you are well out there. Hope you've been having a good week. Hey, Jeremy is here. There you go. There's somebody who cares about Muay Thai. My girl is fighting. Yes, little Marie Ruumet is fighting. So, you know, come on. Could not leave this one behind, right? You knew that we had to watch this. We would be doing a replay watch of this 4 weeks from now if we had to. But we do have to, I mean, we got to keep up with RWS because we've got RWS 200 coming up, you know? Still got to find out what the deal for that is. Because if we can try to do that live, we might, but I don't know if we're going to be able to. I don't think it's going to work with the UFC schedule, so we'll probably just do it the same way we always do. But either way, I'm very much looking forward to RWS 200. And we got to make sure that we're on top of everything. Hopefully there's some other good fights on this card, you know? We've got ladies starting the card off as well. So we've got ladies in the main event. We've got ladies at the start of the card on the prelims. And then we've got Rasul Basian versus Zohair Abu Elfdal in the banger fight. So hopefully this will be a good one. Be looking forward to it. We're going to get started in about 5 minutes. Hopefully everybody will be filing in getting themselves situated and getting prepared for some midweek Muay Thai. That's what I should have called it. What a missed opportunity that was. It's not Muay Thai Sunday, but it is midweek Muay Thai. Darn it. Just thought of that on the fly. You know? Don't you hate it when that happens in general? When you have like some great idea, but you can't enact it? Or like, you know, when you're in a conversation and the conversation ends and like you think after the fact about something that you could have said that would have been really good. Yeah, that's always something that bothers me, especially when it comes to comedy and funny stuff. Obviously, comedic, or comedy is all about timing. Comedic timing, obviously, very important to the humor of it all. And whenever I think of a good comeback or a good, quip or something after the fact, I'm always like, well, oh well, I guess. Yeah, Muay Thai Thursday, exactly. I guess it is kind of like late week Muay Thai anyway, right? I mean, it is still midweek, but it's towards the later end of the week, I guess. Either way, makes no never mind to me because we've got Muay Thai, and we're going to get this thing going in just a couple minutes. Of course, as I always say, get the stream queued up. The link is in the description of the live stream. Get it queued to 000 on YouTube, and you should see the number 424 on your screen. And I will give you your sync point in just a few minutes. Man, I've been on the weird sleep schedule again, which, again, it is not bad for me considering how I work, but it does make things a little bit difficult at times because I'll be up till 3 or 4 sometimes, go to sleep for like 3 hours, get up, do a full day basically, around 5 o'clock, take a nap, back up again at like 8. But, again, this is like, it's not a problem for me, like in my general operating procedure, but that time does kind of, sometimes, you miss things that happen in the evening and everything. Makes it difficult to navigate occasionally, but I don't mind because I do like it. And as long as everything gets done, then we're in a good shape. And thankfully, that's what I was saying earlier. Thankfully, we're getting back to a little bit more of an even keel, even playing field as far as all of the stuff in the outside Yama part of my life. Everything's starting to settle down a little bit. And, hopefully that's going to allow for things to move smoothly. And then, sometimes I go back and forth when it comes to the sleep schedule. Sometimes I'll be on the crazy schedule where I'm, doing like 4 hours on, 4 hours off or whatever. I get 3 hours. I get a couple more hours later, whatever. And then other times I'll be, doing full night sleeps. But for me, full night sleeps is like 6 hours. So, whatever I end up being on is not a problem, again, as long as everything's getting done. And we are getting very close to being able to make the changes around Yama that I want to make. So we're cooking, man. Things are going well. And I am so glad that you guys are with me on this journey and here tonight. So thank you for being here. We've got about 2 minutes before we're going to get started. And then it is off to Rajadamnern, the oldest Muay Thai arena on planet Earth. Cannot wait to one day visit RWS Stadium. Check out the Rajadamnern World Series. I wonder who's going to be fighting when I go. You know what I mean? Now that we watch so often, it's like a lot of these fighters. I just pray that Tim Schlottbach is on that bitch. Either Tim Schlottbach or Kanesek, my two favorites. All right, we got about a minute, and then we're going to get this thing going. So if you are wanting to watch along with these fights, get yourself all queued up. Has to be, I know, right? I don't know. I mean, it depends on how long it takes for me to get out there, right? Because a lot of these people are probably going to move on to bigger and better things at some point. Rajadamnern is not the end-all, be-all. D-Rod, oh, bro, if D-Rod was on that would be amazing. D-Rod, the legend. D-Rod, the Muay Thai legend, bro. Hell yeah, dude. And you know what's crazy too? It's like it's a very crazy thing that like the rest of I mean not the rest of the combat sports world, but that there's a good portion of the combat sports world that doesn't know about these fighters. So it's just kind of an interesting thing. Like you get deep into this Muay Thai subculture, which is like a subculture within combat sports to an extent. You know what I mean? It's like it's a little bit outside of MMA in the traditional trappings. And then now about these guys, and then all of a sudden it's like if they bust out onto the main stage at some point and become even bigger stars, they go over to one, or get into MMA, start doing ground game and stuff, and then make their debut somewhere else. It's like, man, I was watching them when they were fighting in Rajadamnern World Series. Oh, we are past time. Let's get this thing started, guys. All right. Waiting for some people to file in here, but I guess we are going to get going. Looks like a couple people might be filing in. So we're going to get this thing started, and I will be back with you in the chat in just a moment. But, of course, as I say, the link is in the description of the live stream. Get it queued up to 000, and you should see the number 424 on your screen. We're going to start this thing on my end in 3, in 2, in 1, Muay Thai. And there's your timer as well. That was nice fluid motion that time where I got the start of the stream and then the click of the timer. No one in your gym even knows what RWS is. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, it's kind of a crazy thing that, it's like its own little world. But when you see the way that some of these people fight, that they're going to be out there at some point, right? I mean, like, either that or I guess maybe some of them just stay like local legends to RWS, local Thai legends. But if that's the case, then we are witnessing greatness on a weekly basis, I would say. And then it's just kind of cool for us, right? We need a major promotion stateside for Muay Thai. I want that to an extent, but at the same time, I'm kind of skeptical of it because of how much I love Muay Thai. I don't want it to get like tainted. I feel like the United States and our fight culture has a way of tainting things. I don't, maybe I'm being too precious about it, but yeah, I don't know. Because there are some Muay Thai promotions. We did find this out. I know that there's at least one. I think there's one called American Muay Thai. But I don't know, man. You know what maybe has to happen is once Yama gets to as big as we want it to be, we start the Yama Muay Thai promotion, and then we can mold it in the image that we want it to be. That way, we don't let the bastards have control of it. We keep the Muay Thai pure. Oh, right, Mitten too. Yeah, you were talking about Mitten Muay Thai. Yeah, out there in Michigan. True. Yeah, I'll have to do some more research on that. See if there are other American Muay Thai promotions. I just don't think there's enough people actually practicing it in the country, I think most people realize that, I think a lot of people realize that if they're wanting to do Muay Thai, you kind of have to go to where it is. Like, you go to where it really is, The respect and honor of the art would be lost stateside. There you go, brother. There you go. Exactly. I remember there was Muay Thai in real cage fighting when I commentated on it, and there was certainly the respect level there from the competitors, but I don't know if there was necessarily the respect level, or even not respect level is not the right thing. I don't know if there was necessarily the understanding of it from a spectator promotion perspective, perhaps. I don't know. Most Thai gyms in the U.S. are tied to MMA. Exactly. Absolutely. All right, let me get the headphones on here. We got about minute 10 right there. So we're going to get started with RWS. Mere moments. But yeah, it's an interesting element of that because it is like the greatest combat sport, like, of them all. So It's kind of amazing to me that there isn't a greater appreciation of it internationally. But it is what it is. Chase is here. What up, brother? You here? Ready for a chill night? Indeed. It is going to be a nice, easy, chill night. Rewatching RWS. 30 seconds until their feed starts. If you want to watch along, of course, the link is in the description. It is going to be a chill night. You know, I always love RWS rewatches. Again, Muay Thai Sundays, you know, like we obviously schedule got a little bit changed because of the White House, but Sunday nights, man, 10 o'clock Sunday nights, just getting to hang out, enjoy some Muay Thai, chat with the homies. It's a great way to end the week and start anew. Chase the BJJ goat. I mean, only one person I know who's got the dummy in the bedroom, you know? I mean, let me say it like this. I've had a lot of dummies in the bedroom, but never the same way that Chase Parton has. We got to do the BJJ rewatch soon for Gilbert. Oh, you still didn't do that? Oh, right. You got sick. You got sick that time you were going to do that. Damn. There you go, brother. See, these are the opportunities, Chase. These are the things you could be doing for sure. But obviously, you know, if you were sick, you couldn't do it. But yeah, always something that can be done. Here we are, walking into Rajadamnern. That was a nice little ringside cam that they just did. Oh, you watched that one, Jeremy? Okay. We've got Aaron and Joe. The next one probably in a few weeks for sure. I'm hearing GFL got White House rights for their debut per sources. Yeah, everything is true per sources, of course. That's all you have to say nowadays. I love that. Like, whoever taught that term to these wannabe MMA journalists, if you can even call them that, it's like, bro, per sources. What does per sources even mean in that context? Nothing else going on. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Like yesterday and today, there has not been a lot going on as far as combat sports goes. I think everybody's kind of regenerating. You know, they're resetting themselves after the White House card. I like BJJ, but UFC BJJ isn't super entertaining to watch. Yeah, no shit. No shit. One watch of that was enough for me. Like, it's like, I wouldn't not watch it again, of course. It's like, you know, if it was the only thing on and, like, everybody was like, yeah, I really want to watch it or whatever, I would. Like, if there was a big enough name on it, I probably would. But, yeah, you know. Let me just say it like this. I don't think Gilbert Burns would be the name that is going to bring me back, you know? Shout out to Gilbert, though. Shout out to my competition, Gilbert, in the talent management department now. Speaking of, that reminds me, because we talked about it on the free-for-all. Chase, when are we doing another free-for-all? Hey, CTE, what's up, brother? Good to see you, bro. Came here just in time for the prelims to start. Of course, this timer up here is correct. This timestamp is accurate. In fact, it's very accurate today. Like I said, I had a really nice, smooth, fluid motion between the start of the stream and clicking the timer button. I'm getting good. We've got Mia Skur. Don't be Mia Skurred. She's from Salford, England. Am I showing the fights? What does it look like? Thoughts on Islam versus Ian? Oh, yeah. I mean, it was announced, wasn't it? Yeah, the greatest kept secret in all of combat sports right there. Finally they announced what Carlos Prates announced a month ago. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you know, sure. I think that Ian deserves it. You know, why not? Ian has put the work in. He's done his time. He has paid his dues as far as the sport goes. Good to see Islam, fighting at all. But we did talk about that. We talked about that on a free-for-all as well, how I do believe that the narrative that Islam is an inactive fighter is a little bit overblown, because he has fought twice a year for every recent year, I think, except for one. I want to say, since 2020, he's fought twice a year every year, and then I think maybe one time in, 2024 or something like that. But, fair enough. The difference now is, of course, he's a champion, right? So, obviously, as a champion, you want an active defending champion, but if you recall, before Merab and a couple of other guys, maybe it wasn't very often that a champion was defending more than twice a year. Ian might win the way things are going. Yeah, bro, that is so goddamn true, man. We certainly live in a crazy timeline when it comes to the sport in general. Also, that's just the nature of the game too. Is that the things you think could never happen will happen in MMA. It is the most unpredictable sport on the planet. I say that often, and I mean it all the time. Ian wins, and Conor comes back to headline Dublin and take Alex 3-division belt fame. How crazy he becomes first double and first 3-division. Oh, good Lord. Crazier things have happened. We see them happening in real time all the time. So if that's how it goes down, then that's how it goes down, man. I'm always here for the ride. That's why, I drop I tip the hand every once in a while, but I'll say it here. This is why I never get too upset about not being correct about my predictions, is because it's unpredictable, first of all. And second of all, I am here as a fan as much as I am as an analyst. You know what I mean? Granted, I cover the sport. I make content about the sport. We're in the Discord 24 hours a day, 7 days a week talking about the sport. I love MMA. But that comes from being a fan first. So for me, it's when I get things wrong, it's oh man, that was unexpected. Because so much is unexpected. So sometimes you just got to be okay with it. That's why when everybody was so upset about Alex not beating Cyril, aside from the fact that there were all the illegal strikes, and of course that's a separate issue, but in a general sense for me, while obviously I wanted Poatan to win personally, I was like, damn, that's just another crazy thing, and it's crazy that he attempted that, I don't know, I always kind of take a step back and just look at it from a 1,000-yard view, And I'm always just man, this is, it's just, it continues to make the sport interesting. There are some times where I care more than others. Certain fighters that I like more than others or whatever and want them to win more or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just the sport remains interesting to me. No matter what happens, the narratives are constantly being written every day. And then we come over to RWS Muay Thai and get to see two very oiled up ladies. Sorry, I just noticed. My mind was instantly taken elsewhere. Seeing little Mia, what was her last name? Skur. Mia Skur. Quite oily, as is Florencia Greco. I said Justin would win, but didn't think he beat the brakes off Ilya. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody could have anticipated that level of what happened in that fight, which is so crazy to think about. Because somebody was bringing up, I was watching, shout out to Mixed Molly Wapari, of course, one of the goats of MMA content creation. I was watching Mixed Molly Wapari's most recent video, and he brought up the BMF fight, Justin and Max. And it's think about that fight. You didn't see Max Holloway looking like that. Crazy. How do you feel that Armin is RAF Hall of Fame already? Really? I didn't know that I didn't realize that they had a Hall of Fame for a promotion that's been around for a year. That's number one. Number two, they're putting Armin in it already. Armin is in it for extracurricular activities. Armin is in it because of the amount of eyeballs he brings to that promotion, even though it has nothing to do with freestyle wrestling. Pretty crazy. I gotta hope that you're memeing right now and that, that's not actually the case. But did they announce a Hall of Fame for RWS or for RAF? That would be pretty wild if they did. Bia Swanit is here, people. Our goated announcer with the chin strap of the gods, by the way. If I was to do the chin strap and mustache combo, we would have pretty much the same facial hair, me and Bia Swanit. I watched breakdown from a striking coach. Ilya had no defense. He didn't catch the jab, block, or slip. Yeah. I mean, I think that really, if you break it down like you did, I mean, even without having a coach involved, the amount of damage that he took certainly lends itself to the belief that he was not defending intelligently. And really, I think a lot of that comes from the confidence. I think a lot of that comes from the confidence that he had that, I'll just tank the damage. Take one to give one, which is a good quality in a general sense, but you got to realize when it's not working, or like you have to know when to pivot, man. Because we always talk about, like we see it a lot with the women where, it's like they're not wanting to get touched. And it's like, you got to be willing to take one to give one, but there's a limit to that. When both of your orbitals are protruding out of the side of your skull, you got to know that it's time to maybe defend a little bit. He's undefeated and had 7 bouts in their 7 months of runtime. True. 10 if you count all the extracurricular. I just don't understand how he can do what he did against Volk and Max and then show up how he did against Justin. This is why this is the most unpredictable sport, brother. Again, I think the problem from Ilya's perspective is that it was the self-confidence. It was just like, look, all of these other guys, let me rephrase that. Ilya came in like, if I did it to Volk and I did it to Max, surely I will go in there and run through Justin the same way that I ran through everybody else. But the difference is that Justin's got a head made of a cinder block. Justin's head hits back. But you can't take one from Justin, and that's the other thing too. And he hits like a truck. So those are the two things. Speaking of hitting like a truck, our first fight of the day has started. Our first fight of the evening. Oh, Greco out early here. Uh-oh, Florencia. Mia's getting touched. Knees going back and forth. He was extremely cocky and didn't see Justin as a threat. Exactly. Absolutely that. I mean, Chase Parton said it best on the podcast, Ilya Topuria walking out there like a superstar, just finger gunning all over the place. Hey, Trump. Pow, pow, baby. Look what I can do. Well, yeah. Guess you can get your ass kicked. Yikes. Ilya also said on Joe Rogan that judging couldn't grapple. Oh, that Justin couldn't grapple. Well, I mean, that may be the case when you're fresh, but when you only start initiating the grappling sequences after you've been taking massive damage and you essentially end up using it to regen some cardio, that was Ilya's biggest mistake in the fight. Round 2. We talked about it. Round 2. Drops him with the liver shot. He could have stepped back. Chase made a great point in the Discord today. If Ilya Topuria had stepped back and done the Sean O'Malley emote, started saluting the flag, it might have been over. Ilya Topuria decided to go down to the ground probably because he was so exhausted. And instead of going to the side, he collapses on top of him. Turns into, full mount. But like, if he's not able to actually do anything with the full mount, then what does it matter? Touches the liver. What I always say, make them stand up. Take one step back, look at the referee, and say, stand them up. Because in that moment, Justin might not have been able to stand up. Think about that. Referee, and you saw the refereeing on that card. All that would have had to have happened was the referee saying, stand up, you gotta go. Wave it off. That could have absolutely been the case. That was a pretty decent first round between these two ladies. Yeah, Greco came out pretty aggressively, but she ends up with a decent-sized mouse on her left eye. Yeah, those nice knees traded between these two. Mia Skia over here is trying to steal my heart, but Marie Ruumet will not be deterred. Justin said he was hurt and definitely going to the ground was a mistake. Yeah, I mean, dude, absolutely it was. You could tell. Because again, all Ilya had to do was step back and make him get up. And then he could have just dropped him again. All right, Mia Skur won round one. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. But all three judges gave it to Mia. And of course, Mia Skur is a cutie patootie. So, Mia Skia? That's what the announcer said. I think it's maybe skier. Ilya's ego is the issue. When it got to the ground, he tried to one-up Habib with the triangle. See, I don't think that that's what he was doing, brother. We talked about that on the podcast, too. I don't think that he was intentionally trying to be like, oh, look at me, I'm going to one-up Habib. I think that he, like, if you recall, Habib had not taken that much damage. Habib still had all of his faculties about him. Ilia Topuria had gotten his ass kicked for, a round, even though it was competitive. And then taken some damage in round two, a little bit. Not as much, but still enough. Enough for it to be like, damn, I'm getting touched. Then he hurts Justin in the body, and I think he was just in desperation. I think he was tired. I think it was fatigue. I don't think it was him trying to one-up anybody. I don't think he had the wherewithal to have that level of ego in that moment. All right, Mia Skier starting off strong in round two. Yeah, she's looking good in this fight. I hate wrestling practice. It does so much. It takes so much out of you, even when you're in shape. Dude, I believe it. Absolutely. I mean, you've got people think that if you're on your back, that you're not actively working. It's like you've got 200 pounds of body weight on top of you, actively trying to move you into different positions. It's exhausting. Meat Rocket is here showing the fights. Do you see fights on your screen, sir? What have I said before? What have I said before?
God damn it, open your fucking ears.
What up, Meat Rocket? How you doing, brother? Oh, Mia Skur is bleeding out of the nose. Ooh, that was a nice left hand. Yeah, Mia Skur got a little blood on the side of the face now, but she's still kicking. She's still punching. I think I know why I like little Mia Skur. I think it's because she looks a little bit like Shauna Bannon in the face. Of course, I am not showing the fights, but you can watch these fights along with me if you click the link in the description of this very live stream that you are watching with my face on it right now. This beautiful, gorgeous, masculine face of mine. There's a link below this face in the description. Another nice body kick. Oh, Mia Skur. Mia with these nice body kicks. All landing. Nice teep. I mean, Skier is bleeding out the nose. But she might have won that round too. What's next for Justin? Well, I mean, obviously he is the champ now. It's got to be Armin, right? Some point it has to be Armin. Hey, Big Ben, what's good, brother? What is good, my man? Good to see you, Ben. Hope you are well. Hope you enjoyed the White House card. That's so confusing. Click the link in the description. What does this mean? I know, Meat Rocket, right? Yeah, just let me get in the car and come down to your house and help you. Yeah, I mean, Armin is RAF. Yeah, but that's only for wrestling, though. He can, he can go back and do anything he wants in MMA if the promotion will have him, which I got to assume that they're going to, right? He's still signed, even though they hate him. He has kind of made himself undeniable to an extent, which is kind of crazy. A win over Dan Hooker makes you undeniable. Isn't that something? Why nobody talking about the colored leather being the reason guys got cut open so easy? Alex and Ilya, even Justin had a scratch on the cheek. It's not new gloves, but the gold ones still left marks. But it's the same material, brother. The material has just dyed. It's not, the material is no different. White House card was amazing. I loved it, but Liberty Brawl is going to be unbelievable. July 3rd, Liberty Brawl. Liberty Brawl, let's go. Where is that? I would assume that that's BKFC you're talking about there. July 3rd? I mean, I could possibly be available. Who knows? I know that's a Friday. In Philly? All right. Yeah, they do a lot of shows in Philly. Lopez getting another title shot? I mean, it would be what? How many times, bro? How many times? And it's not even about how many times, because he will deserve another title shot at some point. But, like, how many times within such a short window of time? You don't know what dye does to the leather. My gym shoes are all the same brand, same model, but different colors fit different. All right. I mean, look, man, if you can find some definitive proof that has anything to do with anything, then maybe there's something to it. These are the kinds of things you could be making videos about, Chase. I think Dana will skip Sarukian. They'll give the shot to someone else, maybe Michael Chandler. Sure. Mauricio Hoofy. Maybe Hoofy gets the title shot. Just has to go down a weight. Expecting 21,000, largest crowd we've ever had inside of a venue. What, 21,000 people for BKFC? That's wild, dude. I appreciate that Philadelphia has embraced BKFC the way that they have. Plus, a little Mia Skir over here laying some heavy shots on. Ooh. Oh, she's landing now. Yeah, Skir opened her up too. That's a good fight to start things off. Big cut on Greco's face here. Yeah, geez, look at all that blood. We don't see a whole hell of a lot of blood in RWS, but we got a lot in this women's fight. Yeah, good. That was a good fight. Yeah, nice way to start this card. Yeah, what's her name? Florencia Greco. Big damage on the side of the face at the end of that thing. Lopez is by far the most deserving for Volkanovski. Yeah. Sean's getting the winner of or Jan Merab rematch. I think that the Jan Merab rematch makes the most sense. They are 1-1 now, and Merab. I mean, even though Merab got worked over really bad in that fight, he certainly does. He at least made it to the bell, I would say, and since they are 1-1, I think it makes sense to do the Merab rematch. Plus, Sean, we've talked about Sean with the deservingness. Sean just decided he got a walk-off knockout. I don't know, whatever. Anybody really care about that? Anybody really care to see Sean and Jan again? I mean, I guess the fact that Sean basically robbed Piotr Jan in their first fight, there's a narrative there, perhaps. Maybe they do give it to Sean. Largest crowd we've had so far ever was Sturgis. True. That's the home city. Also, did you hear Connor's announcement? Which announcement? Oh, yes, I did hear about them being on Fox. Yes. How about that? That's crazy. That's a big step up, man. Fox Nation apparently doing some investments in combat sports. How about that? They If it wasn't for all of their other programming, I might actually consider a subscription. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Congratulations to BKFC getting on Fox now. Fox Nation. I don't know why, but Mansour Malik and Dustin Stoltzfus is my NPC fight I'm looking forward to the most. It's not an NPC fight. Not an NPC fight. Mansour Abdul Malik took one loss, and all of a sudden he's an NPC. That's disrespectful. Mansour Abdul Malik is still has plenty of potential. Dustin Stoltzfus is a low-key banger fighter who just does not get the credit he deserves. I think that's a good fight. BKFC is going to Vegas? Nice. Nice, dude. All right. Yeah, BKFC doing some big things, man. I like it. I support it. Nice 30-27 victory for Mia Skur in that fight, by the way. Hey, Didgery Dave is here. What up, Didgery Dave? Proud new owner of some Yama merch. Looking good there, pal. Glad the lady liked it. As always, as you very well know, Yama merch instantly raises your profile with women. I don't make the rules. Get yourself some Yama merch. Become irresistible to women. Alex and Hokit is definitely going to be next. Probably. I think that there's something to that. Hokit apparently able to write his own ticket in this sport, right? Goes out there, beats Curtis Blades in a very entertaining fight. Gets the eye of the president. And then, just gets to kind of call the shots now. He wants to chama on his mama. We heard this. You're taking Dustin against Mansour Abdul Malik? All right, keep that same energy then. I'm going to remember that for the predictions. Hoofy is the next legend I told you the other day. Yes, I know that you are very high on Mauricio Hoofy, Ben. I am still not completely sold, but I think that if he keeps doing what he's doing, he'll be all right. We just got to see if he can actually learn how to get up, but if he's working with a new team, perhaps that will be something that he works on. If he can figure out some get-up game and a little bit of ground, then he could be unstoppable, perhaps. So if I get Fox Prime, I get RAF and BKFC. If you get Fox Nation, you get RAF and I believe it's select BKFC events. It's not all of BKFC, but it's essentially, I think it's what you get on BKFC Plus. But I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Big Ben knows. Did you hear the Obamas caused Hokit's prize money to be frozen? I've heard a whole bunch of stuff about the Obamas that I think is all a bunch of horse shit. I think it's all a bunch of stuff that people are making up. I don't think that the Obamas are doing anything about that. I mean, I'm going to need to see some concrete evidence of something, but I don't think the Obamas are actually taking any kind of legitimate action against Hokit. He left the Fighting Nerd, so he should get even better. That's kind of what I was getting at. It's like if he's at the I think he's with City Kickboxing now, right? If he's out there with Volk, obviously Volk can be very helpful. On BKFC Plus, you don't get all the events. You do get all the events? I thought you don't get the pay-per-views though, do you? You get the pay-per-views too with BKFC Plus? Is that true? Yes, very funny, Big Ben. We were all laughing hysterically at the 15-year-old meme. That's like a mother, And I think Chase made a good point. That's a former first lady of this country that he's saying that about. BKFC Plus, you get the pay-per-view as well? True. Okay, there you go. All right, then take it back. So then everything's going to be on Fox Nation, pay-per-views included? Or what would have been pay-per-views? Maybe they're going away from the pay-per-view model as well. I can dig it if that's the case. You know, pay-per-view model is an antiquated model in today's day and age. Former first man of the White House. Ha. Again, you see how funny this is. I'm laughing so hysterically right now. Like everything that Josh Hokett does, I sit with this stone face waiting for it to be over. Is it Fox Nation or just Fox? I believe it's Fox Nation. I think it's the, well, I mean, let me look. But I think it's Fox Nation. I think it's their streaming service. Let's see. Let's see. So yes, Connor said that BKFC has signed a deal with Fox. Oh, he didn't say. Okay, my bad. I thought they had said Fox Nation, but no, you're right. He did just say Fox, but no further details were given. So it's saying in this article, which does make sense, Fox has multiple platforms that could house BKFC, including Fox, FS1, Fox Nation, and Tubi. Could you imagine if they put that shit on Tubi? Real American Freestyle airs on Fox Nation. That's why I think that I assumed that it was Fox Nation, is because that's where RAF is. And I think that that's, if I had to guess, since I thought Connor had said, I apologize. I thought that Connor had said, I guess if I'm speculating on where it would be, I would assume that it's going to be on Fox Nation because they're trying to build that up as the place where combat sports happens. So we never had pay-per-view until the big events, and we only had 3 pay-per-views total. Everything else has been on the app or on DAZN. There you go. Okay, so DAZN, I think that also is where I was getting a little mistaken. You know, if you have certain events that are on DAZN, it's almost like a pay-per-view in my mind, because it's like, oh, excuse me. It's like I'm not paying for DAZN, so, you know, I'd have to pay extra if I wanted to watch that event if it's one event that's on DAZN. But either way. So I guess a lot of, how about that? How about, I think what this conversation is illuminating is that BKFC should streamline their access. You don't want to have all of your events spread out on different platforms. Find one place that you can put all your events, make them all easily accessible to people, and then people will watch. All right. Pet Jatarat. Pet Jatarat is coming to the ring. And who is he fighting? He's fighting Craig Marshall. Chase is from Cincinnati. All right, Craig Marshall. He's a Scotsman. We've got UK representation pretty heavy on this card so far. We can get you to some events close to like Indiana or when we open Ohio. There you go. Anything to get Chase Parton out of the house. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Big Ben. I can't wait to link up, brother. It's gonna be a good time. I am looking forward to it for real, man. Oh my God, chasing his hills. Oh, yes. By the way, in the main event of this RWS event right now, the lady who is taking on Marie Ruumet is the first Iranian lady in RWS. But, of course, she is Iranian, so kind of know where that's going when it comes to RWS. If you want to know more about me, sign up for Discord. St. James will tell you how he helped me. I'm going to bed. Disney exhausted. Oh, you went to Disney? Word, brother. There you go. Thank you, Chase. Hey, look, the command actually worked. Gotta love it. Also, I don't know if you knew this, Chase, but exclamation point Chase is a link to your stream. Chase has his own command in the chat now. This is how much of a part of Yama Chase has become. True, Big Bang. Got you, got you. All right, Craig Marshall has the full chest piece done up in Thai tattoo. He's got a traditional Thai tattoo chest piece. I can dig it. Thailand versus Scotland in our second fight of the evening, still on the prelims. Favorite horror movie villain? I mean, probably the Firefly family from House of a Thousand Corpses. Of them, probably Captain Spaulding has to be the best, man. Sid Haig is the man. But of the classic ones, probably Michael Myers, I would say. But you know me, man. I'm not like a huge horror movie devotee. At least not those kinds of horror movies. I like classic, old school, black and white, Bela Lugosi, Frankenstein type stuff, you know? I really like The Mummy. Like the original, like 1970s Hammer film, The Mummy. But, yeah, you know, I like kind of cheeseball 50s and 60s horror. So, like, of that era, yeah, I'd say that Michael Myers is my favorite. I do like Halloween. Freddy's fun. I do admit that Freddy is fun. I do like Freddy Krueger as a character. But if I had to choose, I'm going Michael Myers personally. I think the mask is cool. You know, one big knife is all you need. They're doing Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Sphere. Nice. If you remember, I brought that up some weeks ago. I remember you bringing up Rocky Horror. I didn't remember it being in relation to it being at the Sphere, but that's fun. Nothing wrong with that. Some campy cheeseball horror at the Sphere. Horror. I mean, horror comedy, I guess you could say. Rocky Horror is great, though. I love Rocky Horror. Whatever happened to Saturday night? I love that song. That's a great song. It's the best song on that soundtrack to me. Ooh, nice head kick for Craig Marshall. Fight's underway, of course. Craig Marshall off to the races right now. Craig Marshall looking like 2001 Eminem for real. Oh, it was something someone told me to watch, and then it just so happened to be at the Sphere. There you go. Yes, I do remember you bringing it up. Yeah. Yeah. That is kind of crazy that it's at the Sphere. I mean, that's, you know, talk about the commercialization of it. That's a film and a fandom that was always in like little art house theaters, and then it kind of grew into like that would be almost the equivalent of like The Room playing at the Sphere to an extent. I mean, obviously, Rocky Horror is nowhere near as bad as The Room as far as like quality of the film, but the vibe of it, you know, it's always kind of supposed to be like small, fun theaters, you know, just like a party atmosphere, and they're doing it at the Sphere, and it's probably going to cost $150 a ticket. I think that doesn't really go with the spirit of that show very much, but whatever. It's popular. Nice head kick for Craig Marshall. Craig Marshall running this fight right now. Pet Jadarat needs to get into this thing. Ever heard of the movie Cocoon? Hell yeah. Yeah, I know Cocoon. Same person told me to watch that. Ironically, I think maybe Ron Howard is the director of Cocoon, I believe. Oh wait, no. Is it Ron Howard? Or was it what's his name? Was it Reiner? I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. They're also making a new Grinch movie. Jim Carrey and Jim Carrey's coming back to do another Grinch. Okay. I know a lot of people love the Jim Carrey Grinch movie, so cool if that's what people want. As I always say, I want new and original things. That's why I like these, movies like Obsession and The Backrooms, even though The Backrooms comes from online lore. But if people want it, then give the people what they want. It's what we were talking about on the Furious review, which all of you out there, if you have not seen our review of the Furious, what are you doing? What are you doing? Make sure that you watch that review that Chase and I did of the Furious, where Chase called it a Bollywood film, and now everyone in the comments is commenting on that. Bro, Craig Marshall just running the fuck out of this fight. Where's the Fire Marshal Bill movie? Did the rights die within living color? True, brother. The Fire Marshal Bill movie, it's kind of amazing that has not happened. They're trying to say that Pet Jadarat is actually holding his own in this fight. That is not the case. He is getting worked to shit. Oof, nice switch knee. Craig Marshall. Maybe Craig Marshall could be the Fire Marshal in Fire Marshal Bill's movie. Yeah, Cocoon is a fine movie. I wouldn't say that it's like a must-see personally, but, Favorite Tom Cruise movie? Don't name Mission Impossible. It certainly would not be Mission Impossible. Born on the 4th of July is the best Tom Cruise movie. That, Jerry Maguire probably is up there. But yeah, Born on the 4th of July, that's a tough movie to watch. But that is definitely his best performance, in my opinion. That's where I actually knew, for as much as he's like Mr. Action Movie or whatever, after I watched Born on the 4th of July, I was like, he can actually act. I was like, that's actually, he's actually a decent actor. What about Vanilla Sky? I have not seen Vanilla Sky either. I know that a lot of people love that movie, so maybe I'll have to watch that at some point. Just know Kanye said he looked like him. Yes, I do know that is a very beloved film, so maybe I'll have to watch that at some point, and I'll give you my assessment once I do that. All right, round 2. Pet Jadarat trying to come back. He knows he's down a round. Pet Jadarat trying to make this a competitive fight. I like it. Oh, another great Tom Cruise movie. Actually, one I would probably put up high on the list, Minority Report. Minority Report is a great movie based on fantastic short story by Philip K. Dick, one of my favorite authors of all time. If you want to do some good reading, I would highly recommend reading the work of Philip K. Dick. He is an amazing, amazing writer. My dad once said that Philip K. Dick writes like a truck driver, and I thought that was an interesting assessment for one of the greatest science fiction authors of all time. But really what it means to me is that he writes in an accessible way. Which sometimes with science fiction, it's hard to make it accessible. That's what I felt about Neuromancer, William Gibson's book. I tried to read Neuromancer, And like I got about halfway through it and I was like, this is just too dense. I'm not enjoying this reading experience. You're gonna try to befriend Grabaka Kapoza? Good luck, dude. Good luck. But it would be awesome. Kapoza's he's the GOAT. Yeah, no, Kapoza's great. I mean, Grabaka Hitman is one of my favorite resources in all of combat sports. I shout him out as much as I can. So if you do get in touch with him, let him know. Say, hey, Yama's always shouting you out. Ooh, Craig Marshall bleeding out the nose now. Petchadarot making this more competitive fight than it was in round one. Yeah. This might end up being 1-1 going into the third. Nice head kick for Marshall. Ooh, another nice kick for Marshall. Petchadarot looking like he's getting a little tired. He's active on X, and it's very good content plus event stuff they do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's very active. Yeah, I mean, Kapoza, like he works with MMA On Point, which is like one of the biggest channels in the space. So, yeah. Grabaka is definitely a great person to be in touch with if you can make that happen. You should just break down and get a blue check mark, Chase. You're so active on Twitter. All right, they're thinking that that Craig Marshall won that round. I don't know if I agree with that. Petchadarot was pretty active in that round. Oof. He did land some pretty good ones, though, Craig Marshall. All right, let's see who won that round. All right, they gave it to Marshall, so Marshall is up 2 rounds now. Petchadarot's going to need a knockout. I don't know if that's going to happen. John Dong, how are you, sir? Good to see you, John. Twitter is not my thing to post, but observe and funnel info into the Discord. Well, you could be using it to DM people, though. Why do you think I'm so active on LinkedIn? Good to see you, John. Hope you're well. Of course, anybody just joining us, if you want to be watching these fights that we're watching, link is in the description. Good, man. All right, round 3. Ooh, jeez. Marshall just tosses him off. Very nice. Just got home from BJJ practice. All right, brother. Every day is another step forward towards that black belt. Oof, nice teep for Marshall. Oh, another nice head kick for Craig Marshall. This guy's landing kicks at will. Yeah, Pet Jotterada is just way too behind in this fight. Oh, big kick. Marshall backing him down into the corner. Oh, he didn't have to. He didn't have to do that. He went too deep. He could have just backed him into that corner if he had adjusted his position a little bit. Isn't Cop versus Horiguchi at the Apex? Yes, it is. It's a good fight. It deserves to have a crowd. We talk about this often. I personally don't care about that, but I know a lot of people do. So yeah, if there was ever a fight that would qualify for that thinking, then it would be that one. But as I've often said, I do not care one way or another if there is a bigger crowd or a smaller crowd, as long as the fight is good. I do think that's going to be a good fight. Looking forward to it, man. Hoping Kyoji Horiguchi gets the job done. Even if I did take Manel Kopp on the predictions. I generally don't care either. It's just that one fight in particular I would have liked a crowd for. True. All right, fair enough. Last time Manel Kopp had a crowd, I think that was the Mokaev fight, and I think they might be punishing him for that one, even though he was only half of the equation. Only way it's 5 rounds is at the Apex, to be honest. If they put it somewhere else, likely is the 3-round co-main. It's a rematch, give us 5. Fair enough. That's actually a pretty good point. That's a good point. Even I think that could have headlined a card in front of people, though. If you'd done it in Japan, it would have. But I understand that, for a lot of fight night cards, I mean, that could have been a banger. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's like it could have been a banger co-main, but then it still would have been a 3-rounder. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that is a headline-worthy 5-rounder of a fight night that could have been in front of people, depending on what the market is. But again, I don't mind it being at the Apex, so I'm just happy that it's happening. Really looking forward to it, honestly. I'm very excited for this upcoming Apex card, especially after talking it through on the podcast. Some good fights on there, and a couple of new people making their debuts. People that we are not familiar with. I always love that. Always looking for the next big surprise when it comes to MMA, as we were talking about earlier on this very stream. All right, I think all 3 judges are going to 30-27 this fight. Yep, they are. All right, Craig Marshall getting the job done out in Thailand with his full chest and back of Muay Thai and traditional Thai tattoos. Hey, you get a little dance out of Craig Marshall. All right, Craig Marshall is your winner. All right. Now we got our break before we start main card. And then we got 5 more fights to go. So we are just getting started over here. Hopefully we get some beanbags on this thing. 2 fights, no beanbags. Now we're watching some of the best head kick knockouts. Always love seeing the replay clips, even though it takes us out of Rajadamnern Stadium. I want my dance cam. But yeah, man, today was like the first day that I actually got like the ability to it's the first time that I actually like had the ability to kind of go back to kind of business as usual as far as like my outside of Yama stuff goes. And felt really good. It felt really good to be back in the swing of things, doing what I do best when it comes to my my company and my job and stuff. Making the business happen. Out here making connections, forging new relationships, and bringing in the bacon. That is what I do. In fact, I wanted to check one thing related to that. Hey, appreciate it, Chase. I just saw that you reposted the stream link. Thank you very much for doing that. All right. Well, we got a while. You know how this goes. Oh. They're switching graphics on us. Oh, no, we're back to highlights again. Yeah, RWS with the pacing is a little bit weird in this new version of it. I miss the old broadcast. I really do miss the Thai broadcast when it comes to RWS. We are waiting on our Estonian queen, Marie Ruumet. Have we seen the Estonian before? Oh, yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, I believe Marie Ruumet, I want to say, might have been on the very first card that we ever watched. I think we saw her win the belt. That might have been one of the first RWSs that we ever did. Or at least among them, among the early ones. But yeah, we've seen Marie Ruumet fight, I think, twice. I think once to win the belt and then once to defend. She's an active champ, I'll tell you that. She's out here making her defenses. Of course, they're teeing her up with an Iranian today. It's like, oh, come on, man. How many times? I do not understand how this promotion, that now they're finding Iranian women. It's insane. But yeah, we've certainly seen Marie Ruumet before. That's how we know she's the queen. She might be the only Estonian fighter I can name. I don't know if we have. Do we have any Estonians in the UFC? Let's find out while we wait. Are there any Estonian UFC fighters? There are currently no active fighters from Estonia on the UFC roster. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? Estonia are underrepresented fighting nation, but Marie Ruumet puts the entire country on her back as a champion. Legitimate royalty in Estonia, perhaps. All right, I'm hearing the dance cam music. Will we be getting our dance cam? Oh, they must have already done the dance cam. But we're getting the RWS intro graphic now, so. Here it is. For more than 80 years. Muay Thai immortality. Crazy to watch all that old footage of RWS, man. Or, I mean, I don't think it was RWS back then, but like Rajadamnern Stadium. So wild. Like you got footage from the 70s on there. It's when they first started having actually, commercially available film equipment. Obviously, they had earlier stuff, but, when it was like commonplace, I would say is like late 60s, early 70s. They were filming Rajadamnern Stadium on Super 8 video. Wild. Of course, keep in mind, people, we have RWS 200 coming up. Very much looking forward to that. I'll tell you something else while we wait. Probably interesting to maybe 3 people on the planet. But I've been watching Thelma and Louise, a movie that I enjoy. And I've been watching now the audio commentaries. I finished the audio commentary with Ridley Scott, who is the director of that film. And I am now watching the audio commentary with the stars and the writer of the film. And it's interesting. I am a big fan of audio commentaries. And that movie was made for like $16 million in the 90s when the average film cost in the 90s was $24 million. Think about how much films cost nowadays. Have you seen the Breaking Bad sequel movie El Camino? No, I have not. That is something that I should have watched before I canceled my Netflix subscription. Next time that we have a combat sporting event on Netflix that I need to renew my subscription for, I'll have to get around to watching that because it is kind of crazy. You can see it right there on the big shelf. At the very end, there is the Breaking Bad box set. I do love Breaking Bad, but I never got around to watching that. And I started watching Better Call Saul, but I found Better Call Saul very boring. And I don't know if it was just the kind of show that you have to like roll into, that it like gets more entertaining over time. But in general, I was like, I don't know. It didn't keep my interest anywhere near the way that Breaking Bad did. So maybe I'll have to give it a shot all in one go. I'll have to binge it at some point. But yeah, I have not seen either of those. You heard Better Call Saul is boring for a while and then it picks up. Yeah, that's kind of what I was suspecting is the case. But I don't have the attention span for that kind of viewing. Like, also, I think it's a little bit presumptuous of the creators of these shows to like just assume that you're going to want to go along with it. You know what I mean? It starts getting better in seasons 3 or 4. So you're saying that you have to get through 2 full seasons of it? Come on, bro. That's what I'm saying. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable that you'd have a show that is boring for 2 entire seasons and then all of a sudden it actually starts getting good. Yeah, there's no way that it should be that. I mean, it should be that from the start of the show. You got to hook people. You cannot just rest on the idea that it's based on a known property and then just make that okay, you know? Hey, TJF is here. WTJF. What is up, brother? How are you? Layoffs at work, but your boy is safe. Really? I don't know if you ever told me what kind of work you do, but I know that you're a younger guy, so I mean, layoffs, that's interesting. Why are they laying people off? And I'm glad that you were not among them. You know, congratulations on that. I remember, I'll tell you my story. I've never been laid off like that, thankfully. But I will say that there was one time at a job that I was working where I had just started the job. I was in my position for maybe about 3 weeks. Less than a month I had been in this position, and an entire department shut down. And the boss brought everybody in the company into like one place. And it was almost like Saddam Hussein when he was like picking off people in the arena. I know that's an old reference for you young folk, but you know, there was a time when Saddam Hussein basically brought in like every political person in Iraq into like an arena there and was like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. And that's basically how it felt in that moment. Because it's like the boss brought everybody in the company into one room and was like, you're getting laid off, you're getting laid off, you're getting laid off. And it was just like everybody sitting there like, holy shit, you know, crapping their pants. Luckily, I was not one of them, but it was certainly nerve-wracking. El Camino is okay. It's not that great. Yeah, I heard that. I think that that's another reason why I never really like went out of my way to watch it. But I still need to watch it though. Your friend got shipped to another place. Okay, gotcha. It doesn't add much to the Breaking Bad universe. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate considering how rich of a world that is. Business is slow, just trying to penny pinch. Yep, sometimes that's the way of it, you know. Sad to say. You know, business never personal, but if it comes down to it, people got to get cut. It sucks. It certainly sucks. What was that, Wayne?
It certainly does suck.
Yes, it does. Like the movie spends a lot of time showing flashbacks of Jesse when he was kept as a prisoner by those neo-Nazis, but we already knew he was being tortured by them. True. Yeah, we didn't really need that fleshed out. I understand. Did you see that Tabitha Ricci is stepping in to fight Fatima Klyman? I did see that. Yes, I did see that. Terrible, terrible outcome for Tabitha Ricci in that one ahead of her. But shout out to her. Shout out to her for giving Fatima Klein a high-profile opponent. Yeah, wasn't that supposed to be Amanda Hebos? Amanda Hebos didn't want that smoke. Breaking Bad top 5 overrated shows, but you still love it. Really? Yeah, why do you say that? I mean, I would say that there are things about Breaking Bad that I would have changed personally when it comes to how it ended. But overall, I think it's an excellent show. I mean, it's a modern classic. I think very rightly so. I think that they could have gone a little bit bigger with the ending, but aside from that, I mean, you know, with the ending being slightly dissatisfying, other than that, I think that it was a pretty well, I think it's pretty properly rated. Tabitha Ricci's so fine. I don't know how Yama doesn't see the vision. Bro, she looks like Michael Jackson. That's why I don't see the vision. Every time I look at her, I just see hee. Every time I see Tabitha Ricci, I expect her to start busting out in the moonwalk. Every time I see Tabitha Ricci, I just expect to start hearing Billie Jean playing in the background. iCarly also looked like MJ, but she's cute. Fucking the girl who played iCarly? She doesn't look like Michael Jackson. What are you talking about? Miranda Cosgrove? that who you're talking about? She looks nothing like Michael Jackson. What are you talking about? Look it up, bro. I remember like iCarly was on the very tail end of when I would have been like interested in that type of programming. So I saw a couple episodes of it growing up. Yeah, bro, she looks nothing like Michael Jackson, dude. Michael Jackson? Really? Oh, she's very pretty. Yeah, I mean, look, to each his own, though, brother. If you're into Tabitha Ricci, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being attracted to Michael Jackson. Obviously, what's his name is? What's the dude's name? Callum Walsh. You know, obviously, Callum Walsh sees the vision. Are you Irish by descent, TJF? Maybe that's what it is. I mean, if you knew my last name, you'd think that I was Irish, but I'm only very part Irish. So maybe I didn't get the gene, you know, and my makeup, my genetic makeup, since I have so many different, nationalities that make up my background. Maybe the interest in Tabitha Ricci was not among them when it comes to the Irish portion. Oh my God, RWS with this pacing, bro. We've been sitting here waiting for 20 minutes. You're white? Yeah, I would have assumed that part. But what kind of white are you? You're an American? Yeah, what kind of American? I thought that Civil War movie was such a letdown. Talk about a movie that had a lot of potential and really did not live up to it. You think you're German? You don't know your ethnicity or whatever? You don't know your country of origin? You never asked your parents? Or your parents never just told you? It's interesting. I've never thought that it's something that matters all that much personally. Like, I know a lot of people care a lot, like they do the 23andMe or like, you know, the Ancestry.com thing. Like, I really don't care too much about any of that stuff. I'm like, what does it really matter to me personally? Dun, 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 dun. Thank you to everybody who watched the most recent video, by the way. I was pretty happy with how that one came out. If you have not seen it yet, please make sure to go over and check it out. Give it a like if you enjoy it. German for sure, but like they changed last name from Mueller to Miller after the war. No bad. Yeah, true. I know a lot of people had that as the case. You know, they anglicized a lot of people's last names. Ancestry is #1 bullshit. After a year, they said they updated something and then I wasn't French anymore. What? How is that possible? How is that possible? That's wild, dude. They made an update to their system and all of a sudden your entire life history changed. Yet another reason why I could care less, honestly. It's like people buy into that and then they just go with it. It's like, oh yeah, we do a little swab of your DNA and now all of a sudden we know. It's like, okay, sure. I believe you. It's like a handshake agreement, you know? You tell me what you think it is and then I just say, okay, yeah, sure. Sounds good. All right, main card is coming up next. Finally, Jesus Christ. You got beef with French people now besides Mbappe? Oh, because of Cyril Gane? I think a lot of people feel that way. I think a lot of people are in the same boat with that one. Damn it. Can I ever get this camera to be where I want it to be? I need to get a new mount for that camera. Maybe that's what it is. They showed me a chart that showed what percentages changed and by how much, like a flow chart. I was 11% and some other major ones, which is crazy. They took major chunks, not small ones. But I don't understand, like, what changed? Like, what changed that made it so that your genetics are different or whatever? Like, what in the metrics changed? All right, finally we're getting some fighters coming out. Singbori. Their data became more accurate. So rip all those people that paid for the service back when their data was inaccurate, going around thinking that they're other fucking ethnicities. You ever listened to Gemini Season by Kanye? No, I don't think that's one that I've heard. Is that on the Bully album? I have not listened to that. I have not listened to that album yet. I've got a lot of friends who are big Kanye fans, though, so I can ask them about it. Oh, it's a single? Did it just come out? No, I have not. I have not heard that. All right, Pet Senshai is the opponent here. He is making his way into the ring. Bully was amazing. All right. I heard that he used a lot of AI for that album, which I was not a big fan of. All right, Pet Senshai is 19, Singbori is 22. Let's see how many fights they have amongst them. It's a catch weight fight, essentially. They're both 113 pounds. But TJF, post the new Kanye in the Discord. I'll listen to it. And of course, RWS 200 is not this weekend, but it is the following weekend. Hey, there's Marie Ruumet. Waiting in the wings, getting ready to put on the performance that she's going to do later in this card, supporting her teammate. All right, we're having our dance off over here. All right. Fight time. Jeez, feels like it's been an hour and a half since we had our last fight, so glad that we finally are watching fights here. Scrolling through to see where the last fight was. Yeah, it's been like half an hour. All right. Bia Suwanit going to be announcing this thing, and then we got fight coming up. Petsenchai versus Sangbori. Hey, Bleeding Edge, what's up, brother? You'll be joining after the World Cup. Hey, well, hopefully whatever team you're supporting wins, my dude. I know a lot of people very excited about the World Cup. I've been hearing that the United States is doing very well, so Team USA, go, go, go. And hopefully the power of the Blood Palm will take your team to victory. All right, Sangbori, 33, 14, and 2. He is 22 years old. Over 50 pro fights already. Yeah, good to see you, Bleeding Edge. Best of luck to your team. Known for his knockout power, they say. All right, well, let's see if we get an actual beanbag on this card. Canada beat Qatar 6-0. Nice, dude. All right, go Team Canada. Could you imagine if it was Canada versus the United States in the finals of the World Cup? That would be insane. Petsenchai is 19. He is 60, 10, and 0. Good Lord. How is that even fucking possible, man? Bro has had 70 pro fights before he's 20. Oh, this is his RWS debut over here at Petsenchai. All right, fight is underway. Finally. Let's go. All right, round one. Kick. Oh, a low blow to start it off from Petsenchai to Sangbori, but he shakes the cup, and they fight on. Nice kick to the body for Sangbori. Kind of a slow start to this one. Ooh, there you go. That was a nice connection for Petsenchai. Of course, if you are just joining us, the link to the fights that I am watching is in the description of this live stream that I am on, and the timer up here is correct if you want to watch along. Nice forward elbow by Petsenchai. And both these guys starting off slow. That's what commentary just said. Oh, you know, Sangbori starting off slow. I'm like, yeah, I mean, kind of both of them. A nice body kick for Petsenchai. Ooh, another nice body shot. Kick gets right under the elbow for Petsenchai. There's a high kick for Sangbori. Sangbori needs to get active in this fight. Ooh, yeah. Petsenchai with that step-in elbow. Got to be careful telegraphing it, but Petsenchai is a stadium champ, so he's used to a very different place. True. Yes, that is true. I saw that on the graphic as well. Yeah, hopefully they both settle in a little bit and find their sea legs in this fight. Ooh, those are some good connections for Singburi. Referencing Kane Sack, one of my all-time favorites. All right, couple connections up top, go both ways. Feels like their rhythm is like you know how that goes when they're like in the same rhythm? You know, they're almost like doing everything at the exact same time and they don't really connect well because they're not like going back and forth. It's kind of what it feels like right now. Are wheel kicks legal? I think so. I want to say yes, but I don't know if I've ever seen one, so that's a good question, actually. Let us consult the bones. Are wheel kicks legal in RWS Muay Thai? Yes, it does. Yes, the wheel kicks are completely legal to throw in RWS Muay Thai bouts. Yeah, they're just considered like any other spinning attack. So spinning elbows, spinning back fists, all allowed. And spinning wheel kicks are no different, apparently. But you make a good point, though. We don't often see them. I cannot remember a time that we've seen someone go for like a spinning wheel kick. Maybe we need to get Mauricio Hoofy out here in RWS. All right, Singburi getting the big stretch. Yeah, exactly. Interesting. We've never seen them. It's kind of an odd thing, I would say. I mean, maybe they just don't train them very often. I don't know. I'm curious as to why that would be, because you do make a good point. We really rarely, if ever, I don't think I can ever recall like a definitive time where like we saw one and acknowledged it. You know? Yeah, it's interesting. All right. They are ringing that bell, so it is time for round number 2. Yeah, Petsenchai takes round number 1, of course. Singburi really, the activity level is just too low in this fight for him. I mean, Petsenchai is not, he's not like crushing this fight, but he's just doing more. That was a good catch of the kick in return for Petsenchai. You can ring my bell, that one random catchy song. Yes, that is, oh my gosh. Is that Gloria Gaynor, Ring My Bell? I don't think it is. But, yeah. Disco song. You can ring my bell anytime, anywhere. Anita Ward, that's who it was. Jeez. Yeah, I would not have gotten that one on the trivia contest. I think she was a one-hit wonder, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that, but that's the kind of trivia that I need to know for when I do music trivia. I'm a valuable trivia player. I remember random facts about random things, but like I am best in a team setting. I need other people to backfill the information that I don't know. All right, hey, Singburi's starting to open up a little bit here finally. There you go. Yeah, Singburi, all right, incrementally starting to turn up. The strikes are landing now. But Pensenchai off the back foot, still kicking his way out of the corner. Yeah, circle out, brother. Getting himself backed up into the corner for real. Body shot landing for Singburi. Oh, Singburi with the boxing over here. Yeah, he's landing. Yeah, Singburi starting to turn up finally. Oh, there we go. Oh, Singburi cutting him down. Oh, Pensenchai on the ropes. We might have our first beanbag over here. Body shots working. Singburi, 35 seconds left in the round. Pensenchai is running. Yeah, those body shots are adding up. Pensenchai not out of this thing, but he was looking a little bit stunned for a second. Yo, Singburi starting to turn up. It's a good pace. I mean, if he was playing possum round one, this is certainly how you reverse that perception. Clinch up there. All right, and that's round two. All right, I think this might end up being 1-1. I think that Singburi certainly took that round to me. After all those nice strikes, it's like he flipped the switch. Reminded me of Melissa Croden in that one fight where Melissa Croden was doing nothing for half a fight, and then all of a sudden she decided, now I'm a fighter. Shout out to Scare Croden. Yeah, he had Pensenchai's knees buckling for a minute there. Yeah, that was some nice work for Singburi. Yeah. Yeah, all right. 1-1 going into the third. We got a fighter on our hands. Yep, we've got a judgment round. Fucking, I love that you get a graphic for it, bro. The judgment round graphic. I love a judgment round. It is Terminator 2 Judgment Round. Good deal. Yeah, I was talking about it earlier, and I know that we do have a lot of younger people in the chat. If you've not seen Thelma and Louise, I would recommend it. It is a very good movie. Kind of its time, I would say. But I enjoy Thelma and Louise. And I'm having a good time watching the audio commentaries of it. And then I'm going to watch Gravity, and I know Chase Parton has a lot of feelings about that, so Gravity is sitting on the counter right next to the box for Thelma and Louise, so I will not forget. Gravity is next on the list. Ooh, all right. They are going for it in round 3. They're clinching up. Knees in the clinch. All right, they separate. All right, man, this is pretty even in this third round so far. Nice jab from Singburi. Another nice connection. Pensenchai with some nice knees here. Yeah, the commentary is not wrong. Singbury is allowing himself to get backed up in this round. Not a good look. It is crazy to think that Singbury is not going to win this fight after that second round. He very nearly got the knockout. Oof, that was a good connection for Singbury. That's another good one. But yeah, Petsenchai is a man on a mission over here. He's pushing forward. Nice knees in the clinch, going both ways. Under 45 seconds left. Coming up on the 40-second mark right there. Oof. It's a close fight. Ooh, another good connection for Singbury. Oh, Singbury with another couple. Ooh. They connect again. Tie up, tangle up. This is going to be a tough fight to judge, man. Damn. All right. There it is. That is a very close fight. That is a very close fight. Interested to see what the judges said about this one. All right. Let's see what these judges have to say about that one. Hard to call. I would say that probably Petsenchai won, in my opinion. But Singbury started landing a couple of decent shots throughout. So we will see what these judges have to say. All right. Whoever wins this, the loser is not going to be happy, says commentary. Yeah, very close fight. (29-28). Damn, unanimous decision. Crowd getting crazy about it. Yeah, you'd think that would have been a split decision. Ah, damn, Singbury won the fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that Petsenchai might have won that personally. But yeah, Petsenchai has every right to not be happy about that one. But all three judges, so what can I say, right? I don't know, man. I think Petsenchai took that third round personally. All right. Whatever the case may be, Singbury is your winner. And Eric Husayev is taking on Mardsinga. More fights on the way. Singbury. They've only been doing RWS since 2022. Interesting. Yeah, they're showing like a little clip of like the history of RWS. Said sometime, I think 22nd of July in 2022 is when they started RWS. Jeez. Somewhat new promotion, all things considered. Is the Azerbaijan card next week? It's pretty stacked, isn't it? Yeah, not this coming week, not this weekend, but next. I think it is. And I don't remember all of the fights on it, but yeah, let me take a look real quick since we're talking about it. Oh yeah, Fiziev versus Torres. The main event is a little underwhelming to me, but the rest of the card does have some good fights on it. Yeah. Shara's on it. Shara versus Michelle Pereira. But Nazim Sadikov versus Mateus Camilo. That's a good fight. Nazim Sadikov needs that win, bro. After that terrible performance against Fares Zayam. Asu Almabayev versus Charles Johnson. Other good fight. Ikram Alaskirov versus Bruno Fajeda. Yeah, this is a good card. Abus Magomedov versus Mikhailo Lashaychuk. Good, yeah, good main card. Eric Nolan versus Farman Hassanov, a newcomer. You've got a guy who's new to the organization in the featured prelim. Obviously, they got some high hopes for him. Abdul Rahman Yakyayev is fighting Julius Walker. Oh my God, what a fucking layup that is for him. Mr. Beast is back. Nursultan Ruzaboev versus Andrei Pulayev. That's a good fight. Khan Offley versus Javier Reyes. That's a good fight too. Daniil is on this card. Wait, Daniil versus Andreas Gustafsson. I thought Andreas Gustafsson was retired or indefinitely out. Interesting. I wonder what the deal is with that. Because, yeah, they have Daniil Danchenko versus Andreas Gustafsson listed on here, but hold on. Let me go to UFC.com real quick and see what they have. That might be wrong. I was looking at Google. Yeah, let me see here as we wait for our next fight to start. So, yeah, no, they have it on UFC.com too. Daniil Danchenko versus Andreas Gustafsson. Chase, are you hearing this? Are you still in the chat? Andreas Gustafsson is apparently back. And then, of course, rounding it out is Beksat Almakhan versus Jean Matsumoto, which is a good fight too. So hopefully that's going to be a layup for Jean Matsumoto. But yes, you are not wrong, John. That is a quality card aside from the main event. Yeah, right? Kind of crazy, right? We literally just saw him say that. Or, saw him post that he was out indefinitely. I guess whatever condition he had was not as serious as he thought, perhaps. Kind of wild. I don't know. I'll have to see if maybe he said something on Twitter or on Instagram. Yeah, let's take a look at Andreas Gustafsson's at his Instagram real quick. Yeah, I don't know. There's something in Swedish, but obviously I cannot understand it, so. Oh, this guy is saying that match is off, so okay. Yeah, so for some reason they just still have it on the, I guess they just haven't updated it. That's weird. Why would they not have it updated if that news is so old at this point? I mean, it's still on UFC.com. Huh. All right, well that's interesting. Yeah, it's on UFC.com. It's also on Google. I wonder if it's also on ESPN. Let me take a look real quick while this fight gets underway. Yeah, Fiziev versus Torres. Yeah, still on there too. Daniil Donchenko and Andreas Gustafsson. Crazy. Is the timestamp correct? Yes, Bleeding Edge, it is correct. Did your team win? Yeah, you came on at a good time because after, not this fight, but the next fight, I'm going to take a break because then we've got Marie Ruumet in the main event, and then we've got our banger fight. So, timestamp is correct. Marcinga versus Eric Husayev. Soltis is his nickname. Husayev. Hell yeah, Jigsaw versus Dwan 99. You were pulling for Korea against Mexico, but it was in Mexico, so it was a tough ask. True. I guess soccer is one of those sports where crowds play a big part. I remember I watched the 30 for 30 on that. What was it? It was Argentina or I forget which country, but the dude who like owned gold his team and was like nearly killed by the government or whatever. That was a crazy story. He became like public enemy number one in the country. It might have been Colombia. I forget. It was like a South American country. But yeah, you know, crowds, I guess, make a big difference in that sport. So does that mean that Korea is out of the competition now? I don't know how the World Cup works. Is it a multi-match situation? Ah, Brazil. It was Brazil. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that was a crazy documentary. I remember them interviewing his wife and how like scared she was. Kids were scared. Understandably so. Bro should have just left the country. Speaking of Brazil, man, I really can't get over Oliver Tree. You know? Like, and I'm not even trying to claim that I was like a huge fan or anything. I really only like one of his songs, but you know, I don't think I knew very much about him, and listening to some of his interviews and stuff, he did seem like a pretty genuine guy and obviously very creative, so I'm very sad about Oliver Tree and all of the other people that passed away, of course, in the accident. Not yet. It's in the group stages currently, which is points-based. Knockout rounds come after group stages. Got you. Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured that. The World Cup goes on forever, so it has to be a multi-stage event. So, all right, well, maybe Korea has the chance to come back. I'll be pulling for the South Korean team. I assume it's South Korea. Does North Korea have a team in the World Cup? All right. Our second bout of the main card here coming up. We have had no beanbags this evening. So we are overdue. It is time, people. We need the beanbag. I am fiending for a beanbaggin'. What? All right, Martsinga is 50-12-0. Kind of weird that he made statements about his death and his will shortly before. Yeah, that is an eerie coincidence, I would say, but I think that it probably just is a coincidence. I'm not reading more into that. I know that there are conspiracy theories about him being taken out by his record label, but if you know the circumstances of the crash, I highly doubt that that was, the case. But stranger things have happened, of course. I think you'd be pretty hard pressed to find some helicopter pilot who'd be willing to sacrifice his own life in order to take out a music artist for, at the will of the label. But it is a very eerie coincidence. And I honestly, based on what he had said, I hope that his final wishes are respected, because I think that that is a very noble thing that he wants to do. He said that he's starting a trust for other artists and, just basically using his money and his residuals to fund future artistic endeavors. I think that is a very cool thing that he wanted to do. Like I said, the more that I learned about him, obviously, very unfortunate that I'm just finding out about him after his passing, as to who he was as a person. His whole swag always bothered me. I never liked his look. He always had a very off-putting look to me, so I never really got into him beyond the one song that I like. But the more that I learn about him as a person, the more that I think he was a pretty cool guy and a very talented guy, even if it didn't resonate with me. Good Lord, Eric Husiev is fucking huge compared to Martsinga. Jesus Christ, this guy is tall and lanky. Got that Jose Johnson build. Hey, Johnny the God is here. What up, Johnny? I just watched the Mexico versus South Korea. Oh, you and Bleeding Edge can talk about that. And man, I'm happy that Mexico made it through to the round of 32, but to be honest, Mexico played terrible and we got lucky. You got a lucky goal. Okay, got you. Well, I mean, Mexico, a place that takes their soccer pretty seriously, so hopefully they get their shit together, because apparently Team USA is coming for everybody in this bitch. That's what I've heard. I heard Team USA is trying to win the gold this year. Oof, geez, big kick from Eric. Eric Husiev complaining about a shot to the dick, except Martsinga's hands are at about dick level. The size discrepancy in this fight is ridiculous. Jesus Christ, Eric Husiev is fucking massive. Martsinga is a tiny little man comparatively. In a sport like Muay Thai, where knees are so important, I just don't see a path to victory for Martsinga in this fight. Oh, big teep. Pushed Martsinga down. Oh, geez, kick to face. That's a knockdown. You getting up? All right, Martsinga is getting up, but that is a legitimate knockdown, round one. All right, Martsinga still trying to stay in this thing, but Husiev now knows what he needs to do. Kick to face. Oh, spinning elbow. Just missed for Husiev. Oh, all right. Martsinga with a hand up top. Oh, Martsinga with another hand up top. Coming down to the 22nd mark of round one. Let's see if somebody's going to go down in this round aside. Oh, yeah, he did. Wow. Yeah, they're counting it as a knockdown. Shit, Husiev goes down. All right, it's all evened up. I mean, I don't know if I would have counted that as a knockdown, but he did grab the ropes to hold himself up, so maybe it was. Either way, knockdown apiece in this fight. Close fight here in the second main card fight of this card. All right, and that will be the end of round one. It's going to be interesting to see who the judges give this round to. They're going to play against the Aussies, and Volkanovski would show up on short notice to win. True, brother. If it was rugby, Volk could legitimately do that. I'm surprised that you haven't had a rugby team in Australia call Volk up. Brother, we need the special muscle. We need that ringer. But yeah, either way, hope that America can get the job done. But yeah, no, there you go. Yeah, this is a good fight so far. Drop a piece, which is crazy that Martsinga is able to do that considering how fucking massive Husiev is. Guy has to be like 6'3", going against Martsinga, who is, 5'8". All right. Oh, they gave it to Martsinga. Wow. Hometown bias. Hometown bias over here in RWS. I thought that was clearly around for Eric Husiev, but all right. Of course, as you all know, but if you're new here, maybe you don't, the link to these fights are in the description. Timestamp is accurate as of current. I can't believe they gave that to Martsinga. That's crazy. All right, round 2. I don't know if this thing's going the distance, people. Let's see what can happen here. Oh, Martsinga. Oh, big elbow from Husiev. Oh, Husiev with a nice elbow on the drop there. He went down to the ground for a second, but got an elbow on the way down. Martsinga really putting a lot of effort in here. Oh, Husiev goes down for a second there. Another slip. Yeah, another slip. Martsinga is a man on a mission. He's trying to blitz, which is probably not the worst idea considering how big Husiev is. You got to get past the striking range. Thoughts on the UFC 330 card so far, and I could see them putting a DDP versus Usman as a featured main card, and they might book Pyfer versus Rodriguez or Fluffy Hernandez potentially. I have not looked at the 330 lineup yet, so I don't know. What's the main event of that one? Is that where they're doing Islam versus Ian? Oof, another big connection for Husiev. But yeah, I have not looked at that card yet so far, where they've gotten to. I always I don't like to look ahead too far, because they're always so subject to change this far out. Nice elbow for Husiev. Nice knee for Husiev as Martsinga went for the body. Oh, Husiev just walked into a shot. Husiev hand getting a little low. Might want to tighten that guard up. Ooh, nice step in elbow for Husiev. Islam versus Ian, and Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. That's a good card in and of itself. Hell yeah. So yeah, as with those as the main and the co-main, that is definitely a worthwhile card for sure. As far as the undercard goes, I have not seen too much. I mean, I'm sure I've seen a couple of announcements and haven't associated it with that card yet, but yeah, it's probably going to be pretty good. Yeah, Ron making a good point on commentary. Husiev has abandoned the teep that was working so well for him for some reason. Martsinga really trying to win this fight. I can appreciate this. Much bigger guy. Nice shot to the body from Martsinga. They are clinching up. Oh, there's the kick. There's that front kick. Oh, another big elbow for Husiev. Nice knee as well. Oh, Husiev goes for the takedown. He gets it at the very end of the round. And that is the end of the round. All right. Yeah, hard to say who won that one with all of what happened there. Had some close fights on this card. But yeah, I mean, Makhachev and Gary, certainly the fight that everybody knew was going to happen. Glad they finally announced it. And Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. I love that fight. Glad that Jillian's finally getting the respect she deserves, even if I don't know if she's going to win that fight. I hope she does, though, man. I would love to see Jillian Robertson as a champion. She's a hard worker, man. She's been putting in the work. She deserves a shot. You know? Jilly's she's a goer. You know, she goes out there and scraps. I appreciate it. Definitely going to be a lot of grappling versus grappling in that fight. All right, they gave it to Husiev, so we've got another judgment round coming up in round 3. Like I said, these have been close fights tonight. I saw people complaining about UFC returning to the UFC Meta Apex this weekend, but to be honest, I really don't care because it's a very good-looking card as a real MMA fan. Exactly, Johnny. We were just talking about that before you came in, me and John Dong, and I said the same thing. It's a great card. We've got some newcomers on the card that looks interesting. We've got, you know, a great main event. The main event is such a fucking banger. Yeah, I'm just looking at. I don't care where the fights. Bro, you see what I watch? I watch fights that take place in fucking, you know, the chicken coop in some, you know, Mexican backyard when it comes to the stuff that we watch on this channel. I do not care where the fights are as long as the fights are good. We literally saw fights taking place in an open-air bar and grill. I commentated on fights that took place in an open-air bar and grill. Like, I do not care where the fights are as long as the fights are entertaining. And this upcoming Apex card is very good on paper. Husiev with a jumping attack in round 3. This is another judgment round. They get broken up. If you're not watching these fights, I would honestly recommend it, man. These have been good fights so far. And we got our one more fight on the main card, and then our title fight, and then our banger fight. Oh, nice knee to the body for Husiev. Yeah, oh, nice elbow for Martsing. Oh, Husiev with the ranged attacks. Oh, big elbow for Husiev. He might have cut him with that. You heard that one. That was an audible sound that was made. I don't know if he's actually cut or not. Maybe not. You certainly heard it. Nice kick to the body. Oh, Husiev kind of went down awkwardly. That was weird. Big long-ass legs. Like a baby giraffe in there. Another big elbow for Husiev, but another big knee for Husiev. Oh, Martsing is hurt. It's over! We got our first beanbag! What hit him? Oh, man!
Oh, that boy got a beanbag!
Ooh, that's a beanbag. That is our first beanbag of the card, and I need to see the replay. Might have been a body shot. Looked like he went down off of... He kind of went down wincing, so it might have been a shot to the liver. It was a 12-6 elbow, you think? I got to see the replay. Yeah, let me see the replay here. I'll get you in a second there, Johnny. Let me see this replay. Because, yeah, Martsing. What a great fight for Martsing, too. Oh, come on. Show the replay. Replay. There we go. All right, replay starting here. And what was it? Yeah, no, it was a knee to the body. Oh, no, well, that might have been before. That was just a really solid knee to the body. All right, where's the actual shot that did it? Oh, yeah, knee to the body there. Another knee to the body. And then... Oh, yeah, no, it was just the knees to the body. It was the knees to the body, a delayed reaction. That's what it was. Yeah, it was a delayed reaction off a knee to the body. And then he just landed an extra one at the end, elbow, just to seal the deal, but he was already hurting. Yeah, I think this is the good angle of it. Let's see here. Yeah, knee to the body there. And then, yeah, you can see he's already starting a little bit to wince. And then, oh, it was an elbow to the body. Yeah, knee then the elbow. The elbow really sealed the deal. I didn't know if he actually connected with that elbow, but he did. Holy shit, dude. What a great finish. Bro, tall as fuck Eric Husiev. Bro is tall with reason. Yeah, it was an elbow to the body. How nice. How nice. Yeah, they just didn't have a good angle of it until the very end there. But finally, when you see it, that was like a mystery movie where you're only getting part of the information. And then finally, they give you the big reveal at the end. Yeah, Eric Husiev, what a finish. Golly. Finally a finish on this card. A lot of close fights, but no beanbags. There you go with an actual finish. Very nice. All right. Johnny said, can you imagine the aroma of barbecue is cooking while fighters are drained fighting each other and trying to ignore their hunger? True, brother. Yo, for real, dude. That legitimately could have been the case at the event that I commentated at. Because the bar was, I mean, they wouldn't be cooking at the bar, obviously, but like the bar was close, so you could definitely smell food. We had food at the commentary desk. That was awesome. Me and Vitz King eating nachos doing commentary. That was great. Just like that finish, that was great. He needs to fight Nabil. I love it, dude. I fucking love it. Hell yeah. He needs to fight, what's his name? Bro from One. That's not Nabil, is it? That dude from One Championship that really took oh my God, what is the guy's name? It's killing me right now. Dude that Chase is a fan of. That's sick. How do you get an elbow to the body? My arms don't turn that way. I mean, the dude was fucking 7 feet tall. Don't tell DC about that place. Bro. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? I'm doing commentary. I got nachos in front of me. This is great. And to be fair, it really was. All right. Because we have reached the halfway point of this card, and I do have to refresh myself, I'm going to take my break now, and then we will get the second half here. Nabil is 6'4". Yeah, I know Nabil is tall, but I'm thinking of, I forget the name of the guy that, maybe I am thinking of Nabil as well. Is he Thai? Is he the dude from One Championship? I don't think that's it though. The guy, he fought on One Samurai. Hey, I'll figure it out and I'll tell you when we come back. But I'm going to take a quick break. You know the drill. Quickest breaks in all of combat sports live streaming. Leave me something funny in the chat and I will BRB. Back again as we are getting ready for Kunhanlek. And who is he fighting? He's fighting Alexis Lagios. All right. But yes, let me look that up real quick. One Samurai 1. It was not Kaito. Where was he? He was early on the card. Shimon, that's who I'm talking about. Shimon Yoshinori. Japanese dude. Yeah. I don't know if they're in the same weight class, but Shimon, that's who I was thinking of. That would be a crazy fight. Yeah, I don't know if they're in the same weight class or not. All right, Kunhan Lek versus Alexis Laugios. And then after this is the main event with our girl Marie Ruumet. Let's see if we can keep the beanbags going here. Once I get one beanbag, I want them all. Kunhan Lek is 27. So is Alexis Lugias. Bro, D-Rod fighting on RWS 200. Oh, no. Angel Bauza is stepping in. I guess D-Rod's opponent got injured. It's a new super fight. D-Rod versus number 4, Angel Bauza. I think we saw Angel Bauza already on RWS. There's D-Rod in the crowd. D-Rod hanging out. The champ, the chosen one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters in RWS, if not in the world. D-Rod the man. We were just talking about him. This is the laziest pre-fight dance that I've ever seen. They're just walking around. They're not dancing at all. This is an anti-dance. Both of these guys are losing this fight right now based on their lack of dancing. Oh, yeah. Bauza was the dude who knocked out Garrett Smiley. Yes, I remember that fight. They just referenced that on the broadcast. Yes, we have seen Angel Bauza. I remember that fight. Good deal. All right, so Angel Bauza stepping in, taking on the chosen one. Not going to be a good night for Angel Bauza, I would suspect. He would be the first Argentinian champion in RWS if he won that fight. Oh, Alexis Lougeois. That's how you pronounce his name. I was wondering how his last name was pronounced. Lougeois. Excuse me. I was trying to Americanize it, but it is pronounced Lougeois. All right. After a whole lot of pacing around, we are getting our fight started here. I'll restart the timer at the start of the fight. How about that? Thailand versus France. How's this going to go? Bia Suwanek giving us our announcement. All right, Bia's announcing our fighters. When is RWS 200? It is not this weekend. It is next weekend. It is not this Saturday, but the Saturday after that. And I have to find out what the schedule looks like, but we might try to do that one live if possible, but I'm not committing to it because, you know, it obviously there's UFC that night, so it'd be a little bit of a stretch to do the double stream, but if it is possible, I am considering it. All right, Alexis Lougeois. He is 46-17-0, and he is from France. I guess we might do a rewatch. It depends on the UFC event. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because Azerbaijan might be starting early too. That definitely is one that's going to be having a weird start time. I'll look that up after this fight starts. Let me just there we go. There's your timer. Fight is underway. Yeah, let me look up the start time real quick while we get into this one. Yeah, let's see here. UFC, that fight. Yeah, that fight starts at the card starts at 9 a.m. So we're probably gonna have to do a rewatch of it. Unfortunate, but we'll do it for Muay Thai Sundays like we always do. Big kick to the body. All right, kicks going back and forth between Kun Hanlek and Alexis. Yeah, nice. Oh, yeah, low kick looked like it affected Kun Hanlek. All right, Kun Hanlek's firing back, trading kicks. Oof. Ooh. Oh, yep. Kun Hanlek goes down. They're counting it as a slip, but his legs are getting destroyed. Alexis Lougeois doing pretty nice work in this first round. I probably might watch Power Slop in July 10th before the UFC 329 event. Is that the day before? I mean, we have to do a Power Slap event at some point. So if July 10th is the day, then I am not opposed to it. If the people demand it, if the people demand that we watch Power Slap, like I said, we've got to do it. We have to do it at some point. It is a combat sport. We have to do it at some point. I've been saying that we're going to do it for a while. So if that's the one that we're going to do, then I am open to it. Also, July 3rd, I believe Big Ben was telling us that there's a big BKFC event in Philly, so we might watch that. Always get a good crowd for the BKFC events. You do indeed demand it? All right, Bleeding Edge. I know that you are leading the charge for the power slap. All right, well, keep me reminded. You know, I'm not opposed to it. As I've said, I am on board with the power slap. I'm also on board with using my leg, my little footrest here. I have a footrest on this chair. I never use it while I'm on stream. This is the first time I've ever actually put it on stream. Do I seem different? Do I seem more relaxed? It's not very practical for on-stream use, but I don't know. I figured I'd try it out. All right, let's see what the judges say about round one in this fight. Close round. Just a little CTE as a treat. I like it. All right, Alexis Lujois gets round one. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, it's kind of nice having my little footrest. Yeah, I mean, those low kicks in round one really added up. Lujois doing some nice work early. So he will take round one, and we will see what happens in round two. Will we need yet another judgment round? All right, round two is about to start. All right, there we go. Round two has started. They are trading kicks. Man, this has been a very kick-heavy fight. Yeah, Lujois going right back to the legs. Smart move. Ooh, he takes a tag, though. Ooh, big elbow for Lujois. Oh, they're saying that Kunan Lek might be cut. Yeah, big leg kicks for Lujois. Lujois really on a mission in this fight, for real. Oh, another big leg kick lands. Man. Yeah, you can see there's the cut. I was waiting for the blood to start, but yeah, you can see the cut on the right eye of Kunhan Lek. Another nice low kick after the caught kick from Lujois. Yeah. Nice body connection for Lujois. I mean, Kunhan Lek really needs to start turning up in a big way. He is going to be very far down in this fight. Nice knees going both ways there. They break from the clinch. Oh. Yeah, Kunhan Lek. It's like every time he starts to mount an offense, Lujois either clinches him up or fires back. Ooh, step-in elbow just missed for Lujois. Oh, there's the takedown. Took him down into the corner. That was kind of dangerous. Oh, yeah, elbow for Lujois. I mean, Lujois is just, he's working very nice and consistently. Kun An Lek has been inconsistent, I would say. All right, that's round 2. I'd say Lujois is up 2 rounds. Beef burger. They have advertisement just for a beef burger. So if you want a beef burger, go to the concession stand. I'm hungry. I can get myself something to eat after this. All right, Lujois is indeed up 2 rounds. They're advertising RWS merch on the screens in the stadium, and I want some so bad. Are you 30? Some soft drink? 30? Did I say thirsty? Are you thirsty? All right. Round number 3. Let's see if Kun Han Lek can figure something out here. All right, Kun Han Lek aggressive to start, but Lujois reverses clinch. Puts him into the corner, or into the ropes, rather. All right. Nice teep for Kun Han Lek. They're just clinching a lot now at this point. Oh, oh. Referee saying, hey, quit trying to trip. Oh. Yeah, Lujois still keeping pressure on. Kun Han Lek trying to box his way out, but his accuracy is just off. There you go. There's a couple decent connections. All right, they clinch again. Yeah, break it up. Break it up. Fucking running the clock over here. Lujois coasting on his first 2 rounds. Nice knee for Kun Han Lek. Crowd reacts to that. Oof. Big right hand for Lujois. Oh, nice body kick for Lujois. Yeah, Kun Han Lek don't have it. This is going to be a pretty easy victory for Lujois. Celebrate life the original Thai way. I wonder what that was an ad for. Yeah, Alexis Lajoie just running the clock at this point. Coasting. All right, that's going to do it. There is the bell. There's an advertisement on the screen during the fight for, a place where you can watch Muay Thai. AIS Play. Elevate your experience with AIS premium content. Let's see. AIS.th for Thailand. Let's see. Oh, I think that this is like a network thing. AIS Play is an internet TV and video streaming service. AIS Play. Oh, so it's a subscription service. Damn it. All right. I thought it might have been a new place to watch Muay Thai. Always looking for more Muay Thai promotions to watch on the stream. $30.27. $29.28 for some reason. That was quite obviously a 30.27, I would say. Nah, yeah, maybe 29.28. I could be okay with that. Lajoie did coast that last round. All right, and Alexis Lajoie has won his fight. Only one beanbag on the card so far. Hopefully we'll get one in the banger fight. Maybe Marie Ruumet will get a knockout. That'd be nice. And there she is. There's the queen, Marie Ruumet. Most knees landed in a women's bout in RWS history. 135 knees landed against Jitty. Actually, I think the Jitty fight was the first one I think we ever watched of hers. And she's going up against the Iranian lady. Oh. We cut to the RWS intro. $3 million baht prize for the champion of the RWS tournament in 2022. Hey, that's where Daniel Rodriguez got his start in the promotion, I suppose. Yeah, crazy to think that RWS has only been around since 2022. We're getting in early with RWS. Poor Ilya, man. His dad underestimated Gaethje, and his mistake is not respecting Gaethje's... Oh, he did. Yeah, his dad? His mistake is not respecting Gaethje's brutal jabs, and Ilya thought he'll trust in his knockout power and ran out of his fight plan after round 2. Yeah, we talked about it. I mean, you know, that level of self-confidence can take you very far, but I think that there is a a level of understanding that you have to have, that when it is time to pivot the strategy, you need to do it. And I think that he realized that a little bit too late, I would say. You know, he was taking shots to give shots, which was good because you got to do that at times, but you can't do that for prolonged periods of time with Justin Gaethje. He hits too hard. All right, little Queen Marie, the snow leopard. Yeah, you know, I mean, Ilya. I mean, I think Ilya is going to be fine in the big picture, of course. He'll come back. He'll probably get another chance at being a champion sooner than later, I would say. It's a bad loss in the moment, but hopefully it's a learning experience. And, you know, what I said, you know, I made a video about Ilya a while back. And what I said about Ilya in that video is that it's going to be interesting to see how a loss affects him specifically, because he is such a person who values the self-confidence, that self-belief, the actualization, all of that kind of stuff. We'll have to see how he comes back after a loss. I thought that his statement was very tasteful and very humble. You know, he congratulated Justin, he said he was the better man, you know, my story's not over, that kind of thing. I thought it was the exact right response, but, you know, how it affects him coming into fights and how he conducts himself in fights is definitely going to be the question now. My issue with Ilya, that he went partying and trying to copy Conor lifestyle by partying before the fight, but he got too overconfident about Gaethje and thinking it's an easy fight, but oh man. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that he was partying the same way that Conor was partying. He threw a dinner party in celebration of the fight, like he started doing that as like kind of a, you know, he's basically celebrating the win before it even happens, which is a very bold move, of course, but you know, like the thing is that, see, this is how that always goes, right? Had he done that and won the fight, it'd be like, man, that's so crazy that he's able to do that. And wow, what a Chad move and all of that kind of stuff. He loses the fight. Then it's like, oh man, now he's, you know, he was partying beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you only second guess it if it doesn't work. So I don't think that he was wrong for that, but will he still be the same level of confident? Will the confidence have to change? Right. He has always done that. Exact. Good point, Jeremy. He's done that multiple times. That is not new to him. So that's the question that I have is, will the confidence level have to change? Does he evolve in that regard? Is there any more humbling? You know, that kind of stuff. He lost badly though. I mean, yeah, he got his ass kicked for a prolonged period of time and did have to quit on the stool, so to speak. I mean, I would not consider it quitting on the stool personally. I mean, his face was destroyed. There was no continuing that fight. But it is not a great look, so I do get that part of it. These are the questions, you know? I mean, how does... We can say whatever we want. How does he perceive it? You know what I mean? How does this affect his mental state is what I'm getting at. No mas. It was not a no mas situation, bro. It was not a no mas situation. It was his body saying, bro, you cannot do this anymore. It's physically impossible. You think, I see everyone is saying that the divorce played a role in his performance, or like that has I don't understand why everybody's putting so much emphasis on the divorce. He got everything that he wanted out of the divorce. He might not have been happy about the divorce. Maybe that has something to do with it somewhere, but I'm not putting as much stock into the divorce narrative as other people are personally. It was a little bit contentious. He had to go to court, whatever. But other than that, I mean, he got everything that he wanted. And in the big picture, it was not a very tough process for him. Hopefully it's not a Cody Garbrandt style fall from grace, brother. If if this, who would be the better comparison, would be Henan Barrow. Because if I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with his story, Henan Barrow, but like Henan Barrow was like he was on like a 20 fight win streak, and then just lost to TJ Dillashaw, and just like never was the same after that. If Ilya has a fall from grace like that, that would be wild, dude. Cody Garbrandt too, I guess, to an extent, but like it would be crazy if that's what happens. I hope that is not the case. We've got our Iranian queen coming out. Raghia Mohammadiyan. It's just increased stressors. I mean, I get that, Bleeding Edge, but if that's the case, then he never really let on that way. I don't really feel like he ever like made that apparent, but he could have just been hiding it very well. Either way, I mean, again, we've seen bad divorces, and I would not consider his divorce to be one of the worser ones that we've seen. Just as people. This was not Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with his divorce because he had so much time to prepare for the fight, and he knew he was going to fight Justin Gaethje, and how Ilya didn't know that Justin can go 5 rounds. Yeah, I mean, he almost had the fight ended in the second round had he just stood up. He chose to go to the ground with him, and that was his ultimate downfall. Cody had injuries too. I mean, maybe in one of those fights, when he lost, but I don't think injuries can account for all of the fall from grace that he's continued to have in his career. Bottom line is he underestimated Justin. That might be the case. He saw Max Holloway knock him out. Obviously, he knew that Justin is knockoutable. But, yeah, I think that is more of what tracks to me, is that I think he just underestimated. She tried to make it like that. You see the wife tried to make it more difficult. Could be. This is a sick promo for Marie. Oh, Marie is the queen, bro. She deserves all of the promos. We just need to get her better walkout music. Walking out to Roar by Katy Perry in 2026. Come on, we can do better, Marie. Let me help you, Marie. Justin fights wars. Ilya has never been in a war. Had Ilya ever seen a third round? Right. It's a good question. He went to the third round with Jai Herbert, did he not? Maybe he didn't. I don't know. That's a great question, actually. A lot of his fights were very quick. That is true. Also, not for nothing, but what I said on the podcast, I think definitely tracks. Justin hurt Ilya from the first punch of the fight. If you go back and rewatch that fight, the very first straight that landed, I think it was a jab, but either way, the very first jab, the first punch of the fight for Justin Gaethje, the redness started from there. So, you catch him early, you keep that pressure on, you keep that output up. Yeah, he grabbed his eye immediately, exactly. Yeah. So, caught him off guard. Then by the end of that fight, scratches all over the place. If you listen to Chase Parton, you might think that it might be because of the different colored leather. But either way, that fight was then. This fight was also then, actually. But Marie Ruumet versus Raghia Mohammadiyan. 150,000 baht for the winner, 200,000 baht for a knockout, and of course the Fighter Spirit Award, 100,000 baht. Is this a female Iranian sacrifice? Most likely, yes. I do not know how this organization continues to find Iranians, now women Iranians as well, to fight and be sacrificed to the gods of Muay Thai, but somehow they do it. Although she is ranked number 2 in the promotion, so Maybe it'll be more competitive than that. I love Alex Pereira a lot, but for me, he's been copying way too much, or coping way too much, which is sad. And I don't blame him. Gone being a dirty cheat by getting elbowed in the back of the head a couple of times, but he also was laughing about Tom Aspinall not wanting to continue after brutal double eye pokes, and all of a sudden people agreed with Tom. I don't think that... Oh, well, hey, thank you very much for the 2 jewels, Jeremy. Thank you very much. I don't think that Pereira is wrong for complaining about the back of the head strikes. I don't recall him laughing about Tom Aspinall. Thank you again for the 10 jewels. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't remember him laughing about Tom. If that's the case, yeah, I don't really fuck with that. I think really Cyril Gahn needs to be the focus of that. I don't think that Pereira is coping too hard. I think if he should be coping about anything, it's being inactive in that first round. It took him a while to turn up in that fight. We were talking about that in the Discord today. If there's anything to be upset at yourself about, that'd be that. But Cyril Gahn needs to be held accountable for all of his cheating bullshit. Oh my God, I don't want to tip the hand on what I'm doing over here right now. But trust me that I will be making some more. I'll be putting something out that talks about all of this. And I want to see some comments in the comment section of this video that comes out regarding all of this stuff. We can have those conversations in the comments. The game plan was A+ by Justin's team. Yeah, I mean, he certainly had a game plan that worked. All right, Saturday, June 27th, we're getting our RWS 200 promo here. D-Rod versus Angel Bauza, Jigsaw versus Dwan 99, and Petzilla versus Koki Osaki. Everyone in Iran trains Muay Thai, but no one trains enough. Either that or they just all, I guess, are leaving Iran for other places in the world, and some of them settle in Thailand, start fighting, and then just cannot hack it. It's the only other thing I can think. I got so upset about Bisping and Weidman's comments about Gahn not being a cheater. What? Which I knew they both are UFC shilling. Yeah, I mean, that's straight up UFC shilling. How the fuck? I mean, we all saw it. Again, dude, I wish I could say one of the things I want to say, but I'd be tipping the hand on something that I'm working on. So I don't want to say it right now. All I'm saying, keep your eyes open on the channel. But to say that Cyril Gahn did not squarely land back of the head shots, especially after watching the replay, which I've done several times now, you are willfully ignorant, or you are straight up lying, or you are shilling for the UFC. One of the three. All right, we got a title fight on our hands here, folks. 5 rounds of women's Muay Thai. Little Marie Ruumet about to catch a mean body. Hopefully she gets a finish. That would be nice. Let's go. I love Bia Suwanit's intro of main events. This is Muay Thai, and this is Rajadamnan! Awesome. Doesn't get much better than that. Yeah, when I go out to Thailand, I'm going to try some Leos. I don't even drink soda water, but I'm going to try it anyway. All right. Regea, the challenger, she's 22, 3-1 from Nazirabad, Iran. Regaya. People forget they just ignored Weidman did the classic Gone move by double eye poke TKO on poor Bruno Silva, and UFC's analysis sweeps it under the rug. We never forget. Brother, I made an entire video about that event. I will never forget. I will never, ever forget. Go back and rewatch that video. The Atlantic City dumpster fire. That whole event was fucked up. That's why I did a video about it. That whole event was ridiculous. All right. The Snow Leopard, Marie Ruumet, the champion. All right, fight is underway. We've got a main event on our hands. Marie Ruumet. Oh, a little push kick to start the fight for Marie. It's a good start. Regaya getting pushed down with the kick to the body. All right. Couple of shots, and then she immediately clinches up. Regaya has a very technical approach to this thing. Punch a couple of times and then hug the body. Oh, there's a nice teep attempt for Regaya. Ooh. Ooh. Takedown for Regaya. Oh, Marie Ruumet catches the kick high. Oh, Regaya. Yeah, that's an interesting position they're in here, but Regaya landed a couple of decent shots. They clinch up finally. Nice counter shot by Marie. There's that teep again for Regaya. Regaya fighting a pretty good fight so far. Ooh, nice step-in elbow for Regaya. We got 20 seconds left in this round. I think Regaya is going to take this one. All right, that's the end of round one. Yeah, I would say that Regaya took that round. I don't know. Now I'm a little concerned for our Queen Marie. They're saying Regaya might be a little tired after round one. This is a 5-round fight. Yeah, aside from that push kick that knocked her down, I think that Regaya, I think she took that round. Kicked her right in the titty. They're playing more Katy Perry between rounds. I guess every time Marie Ruumet fights, they just have to play Katy Perry throughout the entire thing. Yeah, Regaya Mohammadiyan won the first round. UFC is like a WWE show. They care too much about creating superstars to trying to push a lot. Yeah, sure. Wait, the UFC never surprises us of how corrupt and privileged some fighters get, which is annoying to see, and I hate how much they care too much on creating superstars, and Fight Society is right. The UFC is like a WWE show. They care too much about creating superstars. I But see, okay, what I would counter to that, because I do agree to an extent for sure. Sean O'Malley is perfect example of that. But what I would counter with is that a lot of these fighters have gotten it into their heads nowadays that being the multi-division champ is just something that they can do at will. It's like, it used to be back in the day, you would become a champion of a division and you would stay in that division. You would defend in that division a couple of times. Then if you really wanted to go above and beyond, maybe you try to take a fight at a higher weight. Nowadays, it's just, everybody's like, I'm going to get the belt and then I'm immediately moving up and then I'm going to go over here and I'm doing blah, 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 blah. It's like, I don't like that current version of things. Be the champ, be dominant in your division, and if you earn the right to go up after you've defended your belt a couple of times, I would say three defenses is when you get the opportunity to be like, all right, I've done enough in this division. But to get the belt and then just immediately be like, I'm vacating, I'm going up to a different weight. Like, my point is, I think that the fighters also push it as well, is what I'm trying to say. It's not only the organization when it comes to that. I think the fighters are to blame as well. Oh, Marie Ruumet bleeding out of the side of her eye now. I'm getting worried about Marie Ruumet here. Are we going to have a changing of the belt? Oh, hey, Marie Ruumet almost landed in an illegal strike. She didn't, though, thankfully. Yeah, Regea here is... her game plan is seemingly working right now. Marie keeps pushing forward, though. Could this be an Iranian upset? Could the lady avenge all of these Iranian male defeats? Oh, push kick drop for Regea. Marie gets back to her feet. She's going to be down 2 rounds if this doesn't turn around here. Oh, Regea going for the spinning elbow. She didn't get it, though. I appreciate the versatility. Regea is doing nice work in this fight. I'm definitely getting concerned. I mean, Ruumet's going to need to win all 3 of the final rounds if she's going to win this fight after this. Yeah. Ruumet's going to be down 2 rounds right now. Wow. Certainly was not expecting this. I like the idea of Pantoja fighting Piotr Jan before Pantoja lost the belt because Pantoja had like 4 title defenses, but now Van just proved every Van hater's wrong that he's more than a paper champ. Absolutely. Most definitely that's the case, first of all. And second of all, you know, I respect Pantoja for saying he didn't want to do it. You know, back when Merab was champ, Pantoja was like, or, you know, yeah, they were asking Pantoja if he would go up and fight Merab or if Merab could come down or whatever. That cut is nasty, is it? Didn't seem like that bad of a cut, but let me see when they go back to the corner. It looked like a little small cut on the side of the eye, but maybe it's worse than I was. That what? Fucking they gave that round to Marie? Are you crazy? Bro, is RWS pulling some bullshit right now? Is RWS pulling some bullshit? Regea won that round, people. There is no way. There is no way. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. That's a decent little size cut right above the eye, right on the eyelid, basically. I cannot believe that these judges gave that round to Marie. That is insane. That is fucking crazy, dude. There is no way. Yeah, bad spot to be cut for sure. Yeah. You never want that. Certainly an annoying place to be cut, I can imagine. I cannot believe. I'm still in awe. I'm still amazed that they gave that round to Marie. She barely did anything in that round, and she got cut. How the fuck do you give her that round? RWS sometimes beyond that bullshit. They know Marie is a face. I don't know. But yeah, Regea is still working. Oh, big kick to face from Regea. Oh, going for the axe kick. Almost got it. Regea just muscling her around. There's another takedown for Regea. Wow. There's some nice kick lands for Marie, but Regea just clinches up, knees in the clinch. All right, they clinch up. They get broken here. Dude. Regea is winning this fight. And I love Marie Ruumet, but you got to be honest here. Oh, there are those knees starting to work for Marie. Oh, big knees to the body now. Oh, those knees hurt her. Oh, beanbag! Early stoppage, but a beanbag nonetheless. Oh, Marie Ruumet did it. After being gifted around, she gets the job done in round 3. We've got a beanbag for Marie.
Oh, that boy got a beanbag.
Lady.
Ooh, that's a beanbag.
That is a lady beanbag in Thailand. Wow. I mean, you cannot let Marie Ruumet get those knees off to the body like that. That is her bread and butter right there. That is how she finishes fights. Yes, indeed. The elusive and rare lady beanbag in a title fight. Do you believe in miracles? I mean, we cannot let it slide that Marie got gifted round 2, right? That has to be part of the narrative here, though. That was a gifted round to Marie. But those knees did the trick, man. I would say it was a little bit of an early stoppage, though. But I think Regea knew that it was over, so it is what it is. Those are brutal knees to the body, and that hurt her so bad. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, once you allow her to get the tie clinch and land, there you go. You see exactly on the replay right there. She gets the tie clinch. She's pulling the head downward. She's tall, so the size makes it perfect. You know, she pulls that head down, and then the body is in prime position. She's just spamming those knees. Beautiful work. Yeah, Marie is a beast, bro. You're upset they didn't throw in the big globs of Vaseline. Yeah, I know. Not necessary with that cut. Yeah, we have not seen it. Well, actually, we did see a pretty big cut in the first fight, the first ladies fight. Yeah, Florencia Greco got cut pretty badly. But, yeah, not necessary in that fight. Yeah, the liver shots exactly, dude. Just straight to the breadbasket. Jesus Christ. Bam, 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 knee after knee. Yeah, I think that our Iranian lady, Ragia, she couldn't stand no more. Unfortunate, but little Marie Ruumet continuing to beast. But never let it be forgot that Ragia won both of those first 2 rounds, okay? And Tain Chai Pistuatnyan, always looking like he is the most disinterested human being on the planet. Bro has never smiled in his life when he awards a belt. Yeah, that was a more legitimate of a no-mas situation, I would say. Yeah, Marie Ruumet by TKO in round number 3. What a legend. That is 350,000 baht, people. 350,000 baht. Marie Ruumet is a bahtillionaire. Yep, there it is. 350,000 baht for Marie. My queen. That's our new fight terms. If the fighter is on the verge of getting stopped, we say no mas. You go, Roberto Duran. I got it. Is that what Alexandre said? Did he actually say those words, Alexandre Taporia? And of course, Marie speaks perfect Thai, by the way. Marie Ruumet, the Estonian queen, speaking perfect Thai. Perfect accent, too. Like, she is fluent in Thai. That is crazy. So Marie Ruumet was saying that she intentionally kind of took rounds 1 and 2 off, which is making it even more suspect that they gifted her round 2. Either Alexandre or Ilya said it. Okay. They were legitimately pulling the Roberto Duran on him. Yeah, there you go. Marie Ruumet saying, hey, for all of those haters out there saying I don't get knockouts, there's a knockout, bitch. You're welcome. She's thanked all the international fans. She's talking about us, people. Marie Ruumet was speaking to us right there. We are the international fans. Ruumet proved the haters wrong. Exactly. What now, hater? I just need her to death. What do you got to say now? The female flyweight champion of the world. Talk shit now. But of course, people, Marie Ruumet and her beautiful victory is not the end of the show because, as you know, around these parts at RWS, the title fight is not the end. The main event is not the end of the card because we always have the final fight, which is known around these parts as the banger fight. In our banger fight tonight, we've got Rasul Bassian versus Zohar Abu Elfdal. Let's see if we get another beanbag to close this thing out. We usually do. The banger fight is named the banger fight for a reason. Bro, that replay that they just showed was crazy. Jumping tomahawk elbow. All right, we got one more fight, and then your boy is going to be eating some ramen noodles tonight. Hell yeah. Looking forward to a little soup for dinner. If you guys eat ramen noodles that you make at home, the stovetop ramen, what do you do to spice it up? I'm looking for ways to make my ramen more interesting. I do have some chicken I could probably shred up and put in there. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll try that this time. I didn't even think about doing that. I got some chicken I could, I always buy rotisserie chickens. So I got some chicken I could probably throw in there. Do you think we could potentially see a robbery here at the main event? That's like a 20% chance of this card? I mean, the main event has already passed. So you're talking about in the banger fight? Could be. But it very rarely ever goes to decision. So I would say the percentage is probably around 20%. Yes. Soft-boiled eggs too. Some hot sauce is delicious, and sometimes I add cheese. True. I've tried it with cheese one time before, and I didn't particularly enjoy it. I usually do hot sauce. That's my normal go-to. In fact, I usually actually use Justin Gaethje. I use Dustin Poirier's hot sauce. I use some of Dustin Poirier's KO sauce because I only have to use a couple drops of it. Makes it nice and spicy. Soft-boiled egg and soy and mirin. True, dude. I have soy sauce. I don't think I have mirin. But I don't have any eggs right now, so can't do eggs for this one. But I do like that idea. I might have to do that for one of the other times. Because, yeah, I do enjoy a nice egg with my ramen. That is, hell yeah. That is delicious. I love, like, well-made ramen, like real deal ramen. I'm just making, shitty homemade ramen. But, like, a good ramen noodle, man. Oh, that is delicious. Same with pho. Get a good pho. That is some good stuff, dude. Can you tell I'm hungry? I need to eat. Always toss in a hot dog or sausage too. Really? That I have not heard before. A hot dog with my ramen. That I might have to try sometime. I've been trying to, I'm keeping my diet pretty limited right now because I am trying to slim the stomach down, which is working. I'm definitely getting to where I want to get. Taking a while, but, got to be consistent, which is what I'm doing. The game plan for me right now is that if I can keep consistent with my cardio, slim the stomach down, and then once I have slimmed the stomach down, that will also give me the confidence I think I need to know that my ankles aren't going to start doing the shit that does, when I go to the gym. I've been avoiding the gym, basically. After last time when I had my ankle stuff happen again, I was just like, bro, I can't go through this every couple of months, man. But since I have been doing the cardio at home, I feel like my body might be adjusting to it a little bit better now. So I am getting a little bit more confident in getting back into the gym. And once I'm back in the gym, I can start eating whatever I want again. I rarely eat ramen noodles, but man, it hits the spot eating once in a while. Oh, bro, I mean, by necessity, of course, because I am a broke boy right now. But either way, even if I was not broke, I love ramen noodles, bro. It's easy. I'm very big into easy to make food. I'm not much of a cook. I'm also not much of a foodie either. So like that's why keeping my diet limited is not very hard. The only thing that's hard about it is the money because fresh fruits and vegetables are very expensive. But I'm keeping it to green grapes, apples, bananas, broccoli. I eat a lot of broccoli, cauliflower sometimes. For a glizzy connoisseur, the added hot dog is goated. True. I'm not a huge hot dog fan personally, but again, for money reasons, I had been eating hot dogs, but I've been trying to cut back on the hot dogs for the, for the calories. Once I get this stomach flattened out, I'll be able to be a little bit more open with my food choices. But really, it's just a lot of lean protein. Really, the only fatty protein that I'm doing right now is the rotisserie chicken. But I do rotisserie chicken. I do turkey, just plain sliced turkey, nice lean turkey. I usually do turkey with a slice of American cheese. That's the one little luxury I'll grant myself right now is a slice of cheese. But it's turkey, cheese, the chicken, broccoli, green grapes, apples, bananas, and I'll usually allow myself a cracker of some type, mostly just so I have some kind of like finger food to pick at while I'm going through my day, but try to keep that to the limit. Oh, and I also eat a lot of nuts. I eat a lot of cashews and peanuts. A lot of cashews and peanuts. That's the most caloric stuff that I take in, but it's a good calories. It's protein. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the gym, though. I just really pray that my body doesn't betray me. Because let me tell you, shit that I deal with is very painful. But yeah, I've never been like a huge hot dog fan. I do like turkey dogs every once in a while. All right, we got our banger fight coming up. Let's see how quickly this thing ends. Hopefully. Jeez, fingers crossed. All right, Rasul Basian. He's only 10-4, and he is from Iran. Do we have Iran versus Iran? That would be the only way to level the playing field around here. Just have two Iranians fight in the banger fight. Beef sausage is so juicy and the snap is satisfying from Costco. Yeah, I like sausage, but the only reason that I don't fuck with it all that much is because it repeats on me. You know, I have acid reflux, so like certain foods trigger, you know, like I'll be tasting it for the rest of the week, you know. Oh, okay, so we've got Iran versus Morocco. Zohair Abu Elfadal. They spelled his name wrong on this graphic. Actually, I think they spelled his name wrong on this graphic. One of these guys spelled this dude's name wrong. Elfidal. But we've got Morocco versus Iran. I think we know how this goes. So wait, they do number these? What the fuck? Commentary just said this is Rajadam Nerd 198. What's going to happen on 199? 200 is next week. What the fuck? All right, anyway. Banger fight is underway. Zohair versus Rasul. The acid reflux is relatable there. Like, I love crispy pork belly, but man, the acid reflux sucked. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I take medicine for it. I also have, like, I literally keep a thing of Tums by the computer for that exact reason. So, it is what it is. Oh, all right. A little low blow there from Zohair. Zohair a lot taller than Rasul. A lot taller. Oof. Big kick to the body gets caught. Yeah, Zohair doing the head tilt. He's going classic Muay Thai. Oof. All right, right hand lands for Rasul. Hey, Rasul pumping the jab out. He's a tall, lanky boy. Yes, very true. Very true. Did you throw up, Yamakat? I'm going to have to find out if Yamakat threw up somewhere. Hopefully not. Actually, Yamakat is pretty good about that. He very rarely throws up. My last cat, R.I.P. to Oscar. He was actually very similar. Another little handful of a cat, but I loved him. And he threw up all the time. Good Lord. I have never known a cat that threw up as much as that cat. But luckily, Yamakat does not throw up very often. Maybe he just went to get some water before he came over to get pet. Fucking Zohair is like kicking high, and Rasul is just doing the Matrix to try to get out of the way. He's going to get caught with one of those. He keeps doing it. He keeps just pulling his head back. That is a prime way to get kicked in the face. All right, that's round one. No round one beanbag. I am concerned. They're playing the weekend out there in Thailand. Hey, 10-7 coming in at the end of the stream. What's up, brother? Internet been down for about 10 hours. Jesus, losing your shit, I can imagine. Welcome to my world, bro. It feels like internet problems happen all the time. Thankfully, not as much lately, but... Hey, I am Vengeance. Thank you very much for subscribing. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Blood Palm. I am Vengeance. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. But yeah, 10-7, that sucks, brother. Appreciate you checking in either way. I hope your internet gets restored as soon as possible. All right, Zohair, the tall man, has taken round 1. Since he is lanky like Izzy, which is kind of hard to land strikes on him. Yeah, I mean, we saw, what was his name? The dude who was fighting Eric Husiev, Martsing. We saw him landing some decent shots to the tall guy earlier. It's not impossible. You just have to be willing to watch out for the knees and get past the kicking range. Because, yeah, that's the tough thing about Muay Thai, man. Close range and long distance are both dangerous. Cost you money and entertainment? Brother, yeah, I mean, I hate when that happens. You're paying for it. That's why anytime the internet goes down for prolonged periods of time, I always call up the internet company and be like, yo, are you refunding me my money for the time that the internet was down? Where's my refund for the time that I didn't have my internet? I pay you for consistent internet at all times. And if you're like me, I have something playing at all times. I sleep with YouTube going. You know, I listen to YouTube videos when I'm falling asleep. So like I am on the internet 24/7. I live online. So if the internet is down, I am losing money. I'm not getting what I paid for. Oof. Hey, there's some range striking from Zohair. This banger fight is not necessarily living up to the banger fight moniker right now. Oof. Yeah, Rasul lands a couple strikes. Clinches up. He says, ref, and the ref is like, break up, goddammit. Plus, I literally couldn't work today and paid an absurd amount for and pay an absurd amount for internet. Damn, dude. Yeah, I'd definitely be complaining. Who's your provider? I hear horror stories about what's it called? Oh God, what's the one that everybody hates? Comcast. Yeah, that's Xfinity is Comcast, right? Yeah, I hear a lot of bad stuff about them. Thinker, I just noticed you're slowly growing subs and almost hitting 1.6K. Yeah, and you're getting close to 2,000. Yes, I am. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate you noticing. Indeed, the blood palm continues to grow. Love it. You know, and hopefully, once I am able to make the investments I am trying to make in Yama, it will grow even faster. Because, yeah, I mean, we're trying to take this thing to the next level, me and Chase, you know? Black Man Macho Flare Drip. Black Man Macho Flare Drip. Hello, what attracted me into your chat is the MMA tag. Are you willing to have a discussion with a newbie MMA fan? I absolutely am. Black Man Macho Flare Drip. Great name. And of course, yes, this is what this channel is all about, is MMA. So yeah, if you're just getting into the sport, we've got a great chat full of people who are all MMA fans who would love to talk to you, and I certainly will as well, even though we are coming towards the end of this stream tonight. So we might have to have a more in-depth discussion on another night, but by all means, yes, any questions that you have, any comments that you want to talk about, we're certainly here for you, brother. Why do you think you're growing faster now? Probably just because of the amount of output on the channel. I think the videos are helping a lot. Being consistent, you know. Also advertising. I'm doing a lot more advertising than I have in the past. I'm actively trying to grow the channel, so advertising has helped. Yeah, Zohair getting touched up a little bit. True. But yeah, really, the key to success on YouTube is consistency. I knew it was a long haul when I started, so I'm not too worried about it, but it would be nice to see it start like actually like picking up. I mean, I put a lot of time and effort into the channel, as you very well know, I'm sure. Also, another big reason that I've been growing is doing the different promotions. You know, doing BKFC, doing Glory Kickboxing was a huge one. Karate Combat. All right, round 3 is coming up here. All right, let's see what Black Man Macho Flair Drip has to say. I mean, I don't know if I could consider myself a fan, really. I only watch clips online, and the actual fights are kind of too slow-paced for me to find entertaining. I really only like the highlights. Brock Lesnar is what got me into it because I'm more of a pro wrestling fan, because pro wrestling is more fast-paced. They have the ability because it is scripted and MMA is not. Yeah, I mean, I think that the more that you watch MMA and appreciate the reality of it, like that's what separates it, is the fact that it is real. And, you know, yeah, I mean, it really just depends on, like, there are plenty of fast-paced fights out there. You might be wanting to watch maybe the flyweight division. They're very fast-paced. But the reality of the sport is what sets it apart, even though nowadays that's somewhat questionable, of course, with all of the fixing and things that are going on. But, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for the highlights and stuff like that, I would recommend, like, just sitting down and trying to watch a full card of it. Oh, yeah, all right, they're going for it in round 3. And also, yeah, hey, Macho Man Flair, or Black Man Macho Flair Drip, watch some Muay Thai with us sometime. You might enjoy Muay Thai. It's certainly fast-paced, and it is a lot of striking. And yeah, these guys are going for it in round 3. This may not be a knockout. Appreciate you following, brother. Welcome to the Blood Palm. But yeah, come into it. We do a lot of watch-alongs on this channel, and I often try to find cards that are accessible for free online, if possible. So next time we on Sunday, come in on Sunday night. We do a Muay Thai Sundays. Maybe you'll enjoy Muay Thai if you're not as big into MMA. But I would say that if you're looking to become more of an MMA fan, try to just watch a full card of it sometime. Maybe watch it with the channel. You know, maybe discussing it with other people will help you enjoy it more. But if you are just a fan of the highlights, then there's really nothing wrong with that either. You know, just be a casual fan. And that's, you know, some people would use that as a slur if you're more of a hardcore fan of the sport. But really, there's nothing wrong with being a casual fan. Yeah, shout out to Rasul over here, actually like putting on for Iran. Rasul might be the rare Iranian victor against a much taller opponent. Coming down to the last 90 seconds of this thing. Is your fandom of MMA very similar to mine? Did you originate as a pro wrestling fan? Because I can tell by the way you're speaking of it now that you probably don't have the most positive view of it currently. So yeah, I would say that it is somewhat similar. MMA, when I was growing up, MMA was not as easily accessible as it is now. MMA was still somewhat in its infancy, I would say. You know, it was about maybe 20 years old when I started learning about it at all. And I would kind of find it in bits and pieces over time. And then when I finally sat down and watched a full card, that would be when I actually like became a fan. But I did like pro wrestling when I was a kid. But the fact that it is scripted, the scripted nature of it is what basically led me away from it. I like the trash talking. I like the spectacle of it. But I like the reality of MMA. I'll also say this. Yama is a great community for newer fans with questions. No scumbags here. It's, Bam Bam making a great point there. Yes. Yeah. Black Man Macho Flair Drip. I know you're on Twitch and you can always watch on Twitch, but I would recommend coming over to YouTube and and subscribing on YouTube, just because the most of the chat is in the YouTube side of things. But either way, here you go. I will throw the Discord link in there for you. Join the Discord if you want to, have a community, a very welcoming community when it comes to MMA. And I very much appreciate you saying that, 10-7. Thank you very much for that. I take that as a high compliment. We try to keep it very cool around these parts, Yeah, Rasul might have stole that fight. That was a good fight overall. I don't know if it necessarily lives up to banger fight potential, but it could have been a good main card fight. I could totally understand why somebody would prefer non-scripted entertainment over scripted entertainment. When it comes to sports, it is, for me. Combat sports especially. But completely disliking an entire form of entertainment simply because it's scripted and no other reason rather than being scripted, I have a hard time reasoning with. No, what I always say, don't misunderstand. What I always say is that if someone asked me, would you like to go watch pro wrestling? I would. I don't dislike pro wrestling for what it is. I can respect it for what it is. The current version of it is not really my taste. I think the acting is a little hammy. I've tried to watch AEW. I've watched WWE a little bit. I don't have a problem with pro wrestling. I enjoy pro wrestling like as kind of a side dish. Pro wrestling to me is almost like ice cream. Like I don't eat it all the time, but I enjoy ice cream every once in a while, But for like what I actually like love, where my passion is, it is actual combat sports. But yeah, don't get it mistaken over here. I do enjoy pro wrestling. I would still, like I said, I would love to go see it again. I would be more than happy if pro wrestling came to town and I had a friend who wanted to go. I would absolutely go. All right, our decision goes to. Hey, Rasul, people, we have an Iranian fight winner. A person from Iran has won a fight in RWS, people. History has been made. History has been made. Rasul, our dude from Iran, has won his fight. Oh my God. I cannot tell you how happy that makes me. After so many times of watching Iranian competitors lose consistently, Rasul has done it, bro. A huge portion of the MMA fan base naturally migrated from pro wrestling. We get exactly. It is true. Yeah. When I was a kid, I liked pro wrestling, WCW era was my shit. Sting, Macho Man, Diamond Dallas Page. I was a huge fan of him. So yeah, it's not about disliking pro wrestling. It's just, I like MMA. He pulled an upset here, and I'm happy for him. Bro, he put Iran on his back when Iran needs it the most. Although I did hear that we just signed a peace deal with Iran, so thank God for that. I do come across a lot of MMA fans on this platform who do fall into the category I falsely accused you of. Yeah, that certainly... There are probably some people that do feel that way. I think that you have to just separate them in your mind. Like one is an actual... I think that might be part of the problem, is I think that some pro wrestling fans consider it a sport when I would say that at best pro wrestling is sports entertainment / like theater is what I consider wrestling to be like theater. But there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that the reason people might have a problem with it is because when you are trying to legitimize pro wrestling in making it an equal to MMA, that's where people take a little bit of offense. And I probably would fall into that category. Like, because when people be like, man, pro wrestling is as athletic, it's as, it's as much of a sport as MMA. It's like, no, come on, let's not go that far. Like, it is athletic. I'm not saying it's not athletic. I certainly, I understand. Yeah, the hits are, the bumps are real, all that stuff. I get that part. But to think that, an actual fist fight versus a scripted fist fight where they pull the punches could be the same thing. I think that's where maybe I would be lost a little bit. But again, I respect them in different arenas. I think they are two separate things, and I have appreciations for both of them in different ways. Most Japanese pro wrestlers have combat sports backgrounds. Yeah, they blend the lines. They blur the lines a lot over there in Japan. And of course, there is an intertwining of pro wrestling and mixed martial arts from the early eras of both of those sports. So, I mean, I consider pro wrestling a sport because I consider pro wrestlers to be stunt performers, athletes rather than combat sports athletes. There you go. That's a fine way to look at it. I personally believe that all stunt performers are participating in sport, like even in the movies. I mean, if figure skaters and cheerleaders can call themselves athletes, I can call themselves people participating in sport. Why can't stunt performers? I mean, really, we talked about that on stream not too long ago, like what the definition of a sport even is at this point. It's two passionate fan bases that are very niche, especially in adulthood. That is the goddamn truth. That is so goddamn true. The older that you get, the more that you are an outlier in the combat sports world. But you know what? We remain, brother. We remain. I used to be a WWE fan back then, like 2018 to 2012, as the time I watched until I slowly moved on towards other sports like soccer and football, and then slowly gotten into MMA more in 2016 than 2012 UFC. Interesting. That's an interesting timeline. Kind of bounced around a little bit. I like it. Yeah. Look, again, you can like, bro, I mean, I know that you're new here, Black Man, Macho Flair Drip. My co-host on my podcast, Chase Parton, my great friend and co-host, he's a pro wrestling fan. And he covers MMA with me. He's a huge, passionate MMA fan as well. So, you know, they're not mutually exclusive. You know, I got a lot of respect for pro wrestlers. So, yeah, I mean, I think that there's enjoyment to be had in both if you enjoy them for the right reasons. And keep them separate. That's another thing that I personally feel. Like, I don't like the blurring of the lines between pro wrestling and MMA. People like Brock Lesnar may be an exception to that because he crossed over from pro wrestling into MMA and had success. But I don't like the TKO having both WWE and UFC under the same banner. I think it gets those a little bit too close personally. But again, just like them for the same things like them for different reasons, but the same level of passion is completely acceptable. A couple of months ago, we had you singing wrestling entrance songs. I know a couple of them. I am a real American. I really wish there wasn't so much division between the MMA and pro wrestling community. Like, it's very toxic online whenever the two communities interact. I'm very grateful that you have been very positive through this interaction. Absolutely, brother. We try to be, bro, we got love for those who got love for us around here. We try to keep it very cool around here. And when things start getting contentious, I try to neutralize it. Like, I like the chat to be a good vibes only kind of deal, you know? That's why whenever people start talking this vague, you know, kind of hateful language, like try to subtweet shit in there, you know, do those like inadvertent hateful comments, I always try to shut that shit down early. So you are in good company around here, brother. But come back on another stream, Black Man, Macho Flair Drip. I'd have to figure out what to call you, because calling you Black Man, I don't think would not be ideal. But either way, come back on another stream, because we are wrapping it up for the evening over here. RWS has been well over, and your boy is hungry. I got to get something in my stomach over here. So thank you very much for following on Twitch. Make sure to follow over there on YouTube as well. YouTube.com/@YamaShow. You can see it up in the top corner up over there, up in that direction. YouTube.com/@YamaShow. In fact, I'll make it even easier for you. Boom. Right there. !Yama will give you all of the links. You can follow everywhere. Merch is available at yamashow.com for you and everybody else who might be interested in that. New video is out on the channel right now. Please check out the new video if you haven't already. It's about the foiled terror plot against UFC Freedom 250. I thought that was a very interesting one. I was pretty happy with how that one came out. I really appreciate not using the F word to describe pro wrestling. I noticed that a lot of people who are very passionate about MMA like to use that word, and I do not like to use that word to describe stunt performers' labor. Even movies done performer labor, I really feel like that word devalues their labor. I agree. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, no, it is certainly laborious, and it's certainly athletic. I definitely acknowledge that. Do you remember when I was asking you who would win in karate combat, Cyril Gane or Robelis to Spain? I don't remember that immediately, but I mean, it could still happen, brother. Give it time. Give it time. But either way, guys, like I said, I appreciate it. We're going to wrap up for the night. Tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be doing something on the stream tomorrow. So, come by tomorrow for some more, whatever it ends up being. I don't know yet. We might do a free-for-all. We might watch some, something that's on. I don't know. I'll have to take a look and see what the schedule is looking like. Of course, Saturday is UFC. I'll be here for UFC. Sunday is Muay Thai Sundays. I'll be back for Muay Thai Sundays. And, we will reconvene. Again, watch the most recent video if you haven't already. There might be some more content coming this week if I can pull it all together. So keep your eye out for that as well. Either way, I appreciate you so much. Yamashow.com for the merch. I will see you in the next one. As always, have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week. And again, as always, fight on.
It's